106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
I wish I had a better transition out of that video to this. I click on myself at the bottom of the screen to make myself the full screen, and it always just puts me as the little guy on the side. I must be doing something wrong. Guys, double impact. It is Wednesday, February 5th. The first month of 2025 is gone. Long gone. That was fast. And did anything happen in the last few weeks? It's been a crazy time. The first 2 weeks of Trump and Elon and all that is it's like nonstop. I feel like a junkie. Like I can't get enough of all the good news, of all the dismantling of the globalists and all the leftist DEI. And by the way, we're finding out nobody supports this stuff, and it was all propped up with our own tax money with this USAID nonsense. And Jericho's going to be a little bit late, but it's been an amazing time. But we've got a piece of crap for a movie tonight. It is called The Perfect Weapon with, I think, Jeff Speakman is the star of this thing, and it is awful. So we should have a fun show. This is a bad movie. Michael Coulter's here. Joe Musashi's here. Apex Comics is here. Kara's here. And, of course, Tony C is down under. She's our correspondent coming to you live from Australia. Tony, nobody lives in the middle of Australia, right? Like everyone lives on the coast because it's too hot in the middle. I saw something about there was some tree in Australia, and there were no trees around it for hundreds of miles. And it had these super long roots that went way, 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 way down underground to find water. But it was like the only tree for 100. You might know about it. It's probably a famous tree. There was also one somewhere in the Arabian desert somewhere. But then a drunk driver hit that tree and killed it. And it was hundreds and hundreds of years old. And it was the only tree for hundreds of miles in the desert. Hold on. Someone's texting me. Is this Jericho telling me he's going to be late? What do you know? Black guy showing up late. I love saying that because it triggers the weirdos. He's on his way. OMW. On my way. Joe Basashi says, we keep winning, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm off to the side. Why am I off to the side? Why am I all the way? What am I doing all the way over here? Guys, what I'm doing over here is what I've started to do is to work on the Unstoppable Tyrus. I've been working on that in the mornings. 10:30 a.m. Pacific, I've been doing about an hour every day, just talking politics and art and having a laugh and all that, and then drawing this book live. I'm doing the ink work on top of Acheon's pencils, and I'm also working on a cover for Empyrean. But for those of you that tuned in this morning, this is how that page came out. Check it out. This was that page taking place in the trailer in the desert. Some bad guys spying from behind the rocks and the bushes. The Unstoppable Tyrus's friends. And here's the unsolvable terrorist himself. This is the first time I started using this Zipatone stuff here. And I like it. I like it. It's kind of, see that tone? It's kind of an interesting way to define things. So yeah, this is the page that we started this morning, and I finished it up this afternoon. So yeah, you guys, if you want to come in, and you do want to come in, you want to come in and hear all my great takes about life and marriage and politics and art, and then watch me draw this stuff live, then please do. That is 10:30s Monday through Friday. I'm trying to do that just for about an hour, and it's done right here on this iPad that I've connected to my computer. I'm from the future. I know how to use computers. So yeah, you're gonna love this. And look at this. And here's proof. If you're gonna back this book, well, we're up to page 50, right? Here's page 50 right here. I'm not gonna show it right now. I don't want to show all the pages, but I'll show this. Look at this. These are some layouts here. This is a gorgeous looking page. You know, this is absolutely stunning. This page. Look at this. The evil goat guy, Cormac. So these are the loose pencils that I'll be inking and turning into finished drawings. You know. But yeah, we got up to page 50 today, so I'm ecstatic about that. Let me check the chat reel here. Tony said, middle of Australia is desert and barren land. If people live there, most likely underground where it's cooler. Wow, how weird. People living underground. I remember reading about Chinese people who were here in the 1800s in California ending up going to Mexico after they were done with the railroads and a lot of the gold stuff had ended in Northern California, and they went to Mexico. There's a lot of Chinese heritage in Mexico, believe it or not. Chinese restaurants still to this day in every city. And they dug out things and lived in underground kind of things too because of the heat, because it's the Sonoran Desert and it's quite hot. Heather says, YouTube did not alert me to you starting. They suck. Yeah, everyone, make sure you're subscribed and you hit the like and all those things because they'll unsub you for no known reason. They will do shit like that. I don't know how, don't know why. Don't care, but we'll wait. I'll do a little doodling and take questions as we wait for Jericho to come in. So this is me setting up a page. This is a page of pencils here. Those are incomplete drawings. And this is my process here. I'll show you guys. So the first thing I do is dump like a grayish yellow on top. And the reason I do that is a safety issue. It's not good for your eyes to stare at something all bright all day. But for you guys, I'll make it white at first. I'll use the brighter color because it'll just be a few minutes. But oh, damn it. But yeah, but usually I'll dump a yellow on top and then I'll make it semi-transparent so I can still see the pencil work. See, I can change that. So I can see the pencil work and then I'll start inking. So I'll lock that layer so we don't use it. And then I'll go into this layer and there's a great thing in Procreate called these perspective rulers. And it's like having a ruler. So this is a 2D grid here. There's a 2D grid and it'll help you draw straight lines without having to actually physically put a ruler on here. So I say drawing assist, and now when I drag my pen or pencil, it will actually stick to that line. So I can, you'll see. Hold on, let me adjust something. Edit drawing guide. Hold on, reset. Okay, done. So I want to move those, so I don't like them. I don't like them in the way. So I can no longer like squiggle any shape. I can only go at 90-degree angles now. It's locked in until I toggle that off. And the reason I do that to start with is because I want to draw these panels. You know what I mean? So I will see, and it's just like having a ruler. It's fantastic. Das ist fantastisch. I think that's German. I heard someone say that once. But yeah, this is exactly how I do this, if you were wondering. So I'll start off, and then I'll keep these panels on a different layer than the drawing. That way, if I'm working on the drawing and there's a mistake, I need to erase something, I will not erase the panels. You know, and the panels they just get frozen on their own layer, and that. Let's see. That's a cool comic book right there, Gabe. Sure wish I could buy it, but he says he's broke as hell. Well, in Trump's economy, things are going to turn around for you. This is going to be your year, buddy. You're going to turn around, and you're going to have so much cash, you're not going to know what to do with it. You're going to burn some of it in the fireplace to keep yourself warm. That's how much cash you're going to have. All right, dream big. Here's America. You're going to do it. You're going to do it, baby. So, yeah, so that's what I do here is I lay in the panels first. And I should have done this before the show. Me drawing panels is not all that exciting. What's exciting, I know what's exciting for you guys, is draw the muscles and the faces and all that stuff. Maybe I'll just switch over that on a different layer. Michael says he can't wait for the new Spawn movie to come out this year. It's going to be hype. I don't know anything about that. I remember reading Spawn as a kid. I thought the art was great. I didn't really like the subject matter because, you know, my church upbringing, I don't like Spawn, all the weird demon things. So not a big fan of it. The art was outstanding, but Story was not for me, you know. And a guy who's what? He's the spawn of the devil, but then he's a good guy. Okay, I guess that's an option when you're writing, I guess. But it ain't for me. No thanks. It's not my way. But what do you? Have you guys been keeping up with all the USAID stuff? Because something amazing has come out. So the USAID is a government agency that helps things around the world with money, allegedly, right? But what we found out is we're paying for our own destruction because they're funding so many hundreds of billions of dollars worth of crap. And it's like, teaching trans ideology to kids in Peru and a transgender opera in Ireland. But then it gets sinister where they're funding left-wing newspapers basically and websites. They're funding that stuff. And they're funding things that had to do with Trump's impeachment, and they're funding I saw things about the terror attacks in Mumbai from years back, and they're just they're funding every horrible thing you can think of with our tax money, and basically unaccountable. And Elon Musk and them are ripping it to shreds, and it's kind of amazing to watch. It feels like an American revolution. It really does. But I've been keeping up with it. And the first one to fall was Politico couldn't make their payroll, right? Politico's a left-wing rag. All they do is attack. They attack, conservatives. They attack Republicans. They attack Christians. They attack anyone who is to the right of Mao Zedong. And they couldn't make their payroll this week. And people started theorizing oh my gosh, is this USAID thing paying? And it turns out they're paying the New York Post, and they're paying Reuters, which is a giant news service. They're paying the Associated Press tons of money. And then those things all report crazy left-wing crap. So it's wow, that is so corrupt. Our own money paying for our own destruction of the West. And they're paying for news services all over Europe to promote the globalism and the communism and the leftism and to fight against people who are traditional and all that. It's crazy that they're doing that. Let's see. How do you decide how many pounds to do for one page? Well, you read the description of the page, and then one of the major skills of a comic book artist is storytelling. Storytelling is my choices of how many panels there are and what is in each panel. That is literally one of the biggest skills of a comic book artist. And it's the same thing for movies too. When they do movie storyboards are comic books. That's all they are. They're static images, non-moving images that most clearly tell the story. Because in any given scene, as something happens, you have infinite choices of when to freeze the camera. And that's what you learn as a comic book artist. What is the most effective thing to draw to get my point across here? So so you asked a very broad question, but yes, that's it. That is so I'll lock that layer, and then I can start drawing. I'll get a different pen. And I was telling people this morning, I only use one pen to draw. I only use because I don't want this to look computery. I want it to look like it's done with ink, because that's how I actually prefer to draw, is on paper with ink. So I only use one that's just a regular ink pen. And because people use all kinds of pens that'll simulate rock textures and this and that and the other. And I still want to draw most of that stuff by hand. You know what I mean? Just with a regular pen. The thing about this, you saw that perspective trick I did where it helped me draw the straight lines. It has a digital ruler instead of me grabbing a plastic ruler. And how would that even work, to put a plastic ruler on top of your iPad? That'd be crazy and annoying. And I don't think it would work because there's a bit of parallax with the screen. Meaning that the screen, is a millimeter thick of glass or whatever. So it's not exactly where you're setting the pen down. It's almost where you're setting it down. So if you put a ruler down, I think it would be slightly off. But anyway, for me, that's what the iPad is about. It's quick editing and correction, and then just those kind of shortcuts. But no, it doesn't do the drawing for you. That's not a thing. Well, I guess with AI nowadays, you could write prompts and then you could make fake art. But I don't think the AI is there yet to make a comic, thank goodness. Because I don't think they can make images consistent, really, right? Because if you said, oh, make Captain America punching this guy, and then make Captain America do this, the Captain America and everything's going to look different every time, right? At least that's what I've seen from AI stuff. So I don't know. But yeah, it's there's important reasons to use digital stuff. I don't like it, but it's just part of the reality nowadays. In the future, when I have more time, because I'm just getting my company off the ground, right? We've only been going for 2 years, and I want to have content out there. And I might have an announcement on the Dean Cain Volume 2 sooner than you think. I told you I've been writing it and rewriting it and working on it and this and that. And we got to do some character concept designs for new villains and new heroes that are joining him. And I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but I'm not sure. I do think I want to push it up in the schedule. I was going to do this one book first, and then the Dean Cain book, but I was thinking of doing them at the same time. And the way you would do that is 2 artists, obviously, because I was going to have the same guy do both. But I think now my military thriller, I don't think I'm going to have that guy draw it. I think I'm going to draw it when I'm done with this. So I think that's the way that'll go. Michael Coulter says, yeah, I saw the same thing in my former home state of Colorado. They were protesting in front of the Denver Capitol building. I had to shake my head. Who cares? A bunch of losers. They're supposed to have like a zillion people in Washington, D.C., and they canceled their march today because it was cold. No, they canceled it because nobody wanted to show up. I was on Sunday. I was down near the convention center in San Diego, near Seaport Village. It's near the airport and all. That's just near downtown. And there are a bunch of people there waving Mexican flags and screaming and hemming and hawing. And my advice to them would be, if you love Mexico, and it's a beautiful place, I visit, I like Mexico, but if you love it more than here, then please go live there. No one's stopping you. So now his eyes should be shut. What the hell am I thinking of? If he's doing a swan dive off of a cliff. Now, I'm not going to give you context for what's going on here, but he's standing at the edge of a cliff. Here, let me move this thing. Hold on. Unlock. He's standing at the edge of a cliff. You see, like a high dive guy. And then they're like, oh my God. And he's going to do this jump backwards and land on this mattress down there. And there's a good reason for this. You know, this is a comedy bit, this scene. It's a really funny thing. So we had the orangutan was pointing a gun at his face earlier in this scene. So this is pretty wacky. Now, don't get the wrong impression. This is an action-packed, crazy, badass comic book, but we are going to add some fun to it because why not? That's just, we got to make it fun for everybody. So lock that one. Okay, here we are. There were protests in Lansing, Michigan earlier. They made an emphasis to point out that all the protesters were all white. I could only, yeah. That is one of the things about me being a non-white person. What I noticed about white liberals, and they are very racist. They talk to us, brown people and black people or whatever, like we are mentally disabled and cannot do anything without their help. And it's all their narcissism. It's they want to be the what's it called? The white savior, right? They want to be the white savior. Please help me. You can ask Jericho. Me and Jericho have joked about this. Like he's experienced it too. He said during like the George Floyd stuff, like someone like when he used to work at this super liberal place, I think they gave him a card and they told him how sorry they were and they understood his struggle and blah, blah, blah. And just, we support you, Jericho, all the way. So that's hilarious. That's actually pretty hilarious. So, but it doesn't surprise me that, because again, it's all about their ego, right? That's what this stuff is about. It's not about actually caring about anything. So they can wail and scream and gnash their teeth all they want. I don't care. Trump won and he campaigned with Elon, and this is what we voted for. I voted to, fix the government, fix the country, no fake wars, make the economy better so more people have opportunities. But I'll take the liberal tears as a bonus. I will definitely take them as a bonus, because these people have been nasty, horrible bullies for decades, canceling and destroying lives and spreading horrible filth and degeneracy throughout our culture. And now they're powerless and they can only squirm and squeal. And it's good to watch. And it's not revenge, because revenge is evil. It's justice. It ain't revenge, So it's nice to see them this way. Just in a tizzy, crying away, crying in their beer. So it's nice to see. Let's see. Joe Musashi says, oh yeah, the white leftists are always the racists. They clearly show. Well, yeah, because it's like, one of the things you do with identity politics is put everybody of a race in a group. And I don't know about you, but I've met different black people. Jericho, contrary to what you may think, Jericho's not the only black person I know. But what I found fascinating is every black person I met was an individual with their own life, their own story, their own ideas, and their own viewpoint on the world. And they weren't, contrary to the liberal social justice warrior view, they weren't all the same, the black people. I was shocked. And I guess the same goes for Mexicans and gays and women and even white men. The villain, the white man. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. I guess that goes for every human being. Is the ultimate in the minority group is the individual, right? So, yeah, it turns out that's a bunch of horse shit, that we got to group all the black people together. We need a black, like when they say we need a black perspective on this, right? We got to hire a black guy because we need a black perspective. Well, what black perspective? Because aren't they different? Are you saying they're all the same? Like that's actually racist. That's the definition of racism, to group people by their race, right? To say they're all the same because they're black. They're definitely not. That's stupidity. So yeah, it's fascinating to watch. But again, it's not, they don't care. They do not care. They care about being praised as the hero. That's all it's about. That's all they care about. So all you can do when you're in my position or Jericho's position is just laugh at it. It's harmless. It doesn't do anything. It's well, that's not true at all. Actually, it really does hurt lives. But I guess you can't get upset about it. You can ignore it, and then you push back when you need to, I suppose. But it's really shitty. It's a really selfish thing of people to do, is put their own aggrandizement above their self-aggrandizement above the truth, because the truth is the only thing that's ever going to get any of us anywhere, right? So so if we're living lies, then we have an incorrect formula. That's what a lie is going to be, right? They're the incorrect facts, and then if we act on the incorrect facts, we get suboptimal outcomes. So it is really terrible to just lump everyone together and tell everyone that's a minority that they're a victim. And how does that help anyone's life? If you tell me that so and so is just cheating and I can't defeat them, then I don't want to play. And when you give people this victim complex, then they're gonna check out on life, man. They're not gonna aspire to be anything because they don't think they can. So yeah, it's very sinister. It's a hateful thing to do to people. It's part of why I left DC Comics. I told them, it's like, I don't want to make these identity politics comics, because then I'm teaching people, gay, black, otherwise, to be a victim. So now I'm diminishing their life. I'm telling them, you can't make it because you're XYZ group. So when I tell someone that, I hurt their life. I stifle their potential. I may prevent them from ever hitting even a fraction of their potential. They just believe it's rigged and there's nothing they can do. Why would you ever tell anyone something like that? So it's a really hate, and the reason they tell people that, again, to repeat myself for the umpteenth time, is to feel like a hero. That's very selfish, to lie to people to make yourself a hero and make them discouraged. That's terrible. But it's really, a lot of it's coming to an end with Trump and Elon doing this stuff. And it's funny, man. They are caught red-handed with their hand in the cookie jar. These USAID people, they are caught. You can't believe. Go look it up on Twitter and all that, what they've been doing with our money as Americans. We should all get a refund on all the taxes we paid in the last decade, and we shouldn't have to pay taxes for another decade with what they've done with our money. It's insane. We should be living in the year 3000. It should look like a Star Wars city, America. Let's see. It's like Morgan Freeman said, Kara73 says, if you want to get rid of racism, stop talking about people as their groups. First of all, it's forget emotion, forget morality, forget all the feeling stuff. Just become like a computer, become like a total android for a minute. We're all just computers. We just facts, ones, zeros. It's incorrect. It's factually incorrect that all black people are the same. That's just factually incorrect. Forget how you feel about it. It is factually incorrect that all gay people are the same. It's not true. It's not kind of true. It's not, well, if you look at it this way, it's not true. They're all individuals. They all act and think and behave in an individual manner. Some the same, some not the same, some a little, some less, some more, but they're all individuals. So just knock it off. It's stupid. But it is a divide and conquer tactic. The people who push this stuff, they're well aware of what they're doing. And they know it works because human beings are pattern recognition machines. But if you're not intelligent, or you're not trying to be intelligent, you're just being emotional, you'll fall for it, because you'll be in the ghetto. You'll be a Mexican in the barrio, the poor neighborhood, and your dad was poor, your grandpa was poor, your great grandpa was poor, and you're looking at this, and then some white liberal comes along and tells you, why you guys are poor? Because the white man. It feels really good to hear that. It feels really good to hear it's not your fault. It's not, hey, maybe you got 4 women pregnant and never finished high school. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe you shouldn't be in and out of jail and joining gangs. Maybe that has something to do with it. Did the white man make you sell drugs? Is that how that works? Did the white man make you get all these women pregnant? Is that how that works? But to tell people they're not responsible for their problems, you discourage them, because if you're not responsible for your life, then you can't fix it. right? If this thing is happening to you and you didn't do it, then how can you fix it? Because someone else did it to you. They need to quit, not you need to change. It's one of the most evil, hateful things you can tell people. And in a free society like ours in the West, and specifically in America, telling people that is just, it's preposterous. Like, yeah, maybe there's this, maybe there's that, whatever circumstance. You can get out of it in America. You can start anywhere in America and end up somewhere great. When I got married 28 and a half years ago, I worked at Toys R Us sticking action figures on shelves. I made $8 an hour. My wife waited tables for $2.15, $2.12. California had a tip credit. They figured in what you were going to get in tips, and then they paid you a lesser wage, lower than minimum wage on that. You know, because paying you a whole $4.25 an hour would have been a king's ransom, because that's what minimum wage was back then. It was $4.25, $4.25 back in the 90s. And yeah, I made $8 an hour at Toys R Us, and she made $2.12 at Coco's. And then her tips would, you know, be like $75, $100, $60 a day. So we were not rolling in it. And here we are, living in the most expensive city in America, very near to the ocean, very nice. And none of this is bragging. I'm bragging about America, not me. In a gorgeous home, right by the ocean, in America's most expensive and beautiful city, San Diego, California. And we started off as people with no money, no nothing. And I remember we've talked about it. We've laughed about it. Now, one night dinner, we had like a package of instant noodles and like, you know, a pound of ground beef. And we're like, let the baby eat the meat and noodles and we'll just eat noodles. You know, my wife has reminded me of that a few times. And, you know, and then, you know, for a few years it was like, oh, we'll pay the gas bill this month. We'll pay the electric bill next month. And blah, blah, you know, and we got out of it, right? God bless us, but we worked really hard. And that's another thing about this USAID that pisses me off. Them using all our money to fund all this, millions of dollars to promote atheism in Nepal, tens of thousands of dollars to make a transgender comic book in Peru. Like, it's endless, this grift that they're doing at this USAID, this USAID thing. It's insane. And I'm like, those are my tax dollars. Like, give them back, you creeps. You know, and I think of my wife pregnant with our son coming home with, you know, her feet all sore from waiting tables while she's pregnant. And I'm working from, you know, 10 at night to 6 in the morning at Toys R Us, stocking shelves, and working in a cardboard box factory, and driving a truck. And if you get, like, I've done it all, man. I've been a construction worker. We did it all. I had 3 jobs, and I was in college full time on the honor roll. You know, this is the greatest country in the history of the world that can let people like my wife and I, who had a child way too young. I was 18, she was 20, crawl out of our mess. Because do you know what typically happens to uneducated people that have a kid in their teens? Their story doesn't end this way. I'm supremely blessed, and it's why I want to fight for it for others, because I don't believe in shutting the door of success behind me on the way through it. You know, I was given a beautiful society and culture to live in, and it was a gift to help me recover from becoming a father at 18 while I worked at Toys R Us, right? And I was able to do it because of the opportunity here, you know. And I want that for others, because I don't need it now. I'm successful. I'm so successful. I love it. But I remember how that felt, you know. You know, so we came from some pretty humble beginnings, but this is the greatest country in the history of the world, and it should be that way for everyone here who's willing to work hard. And it's not right what they've done to our people for decades, and we're finding out so much it's a horror story. The Bank of America is closed. She says, damn right. Yeah, we are done being the world's sucker, just handing out money to every fucking country and organization on earth. Well, we're over here. Well, people over here can't even afford homes. Like, I walk around my house. I don't know how many of you own homes, but it's such a great thing to own a home. You feel so accomplished as an adult. It's your home, right? Home is where the heart is, right? I mean, but like this is where you make your memories. This is where you have your Christmas morning with your children, and now my grandchild. And this is my home, my toilet, my coffee maker, my backyard. You know what I mean? It's such a personal thing. And I'm a Gen X, I'm 46, but the generations under me, they've been robbed. They work their ass off and they can't afford homes, and they don't even want to have kids, which is just a tragedy, because that's the most fulfilling thing in life, is having a family, having a wife and kids. That is the most fulfilling thing. There's nothing more fulfilling. There isn't. You can't substitute it for anything, because it truly is our purpose, you know, because you're never going to have to love more than having a family. Having children, you have to unconditionally love them. You have to be merciful and patient and kind and generous and self-sacrificing in a way that you can't simulate anywhere else. What you have to do to be a good parent um, makes you such a better person morally, because you truly see a helpless individual that you're going to help. I mean, you're tasked with like helping them succeed in their entire life. Think about that. There's no one else in the world that you do that for. There are other people you help for a season, right? For a limited time, you're involved with them, or even your spouse. You didn't know your spouse when they were little, and you weren't raising them when they were little. But these people need you to get their entire life headed in the right direction. So it's really the greatest love story is to have children. And I hate that so many people have been cheated out of that by postmodern culture. They've been told that it's not to do it, it's not worthwhile, it's degrading to women to be housewives and blah blah blah. My wife is brilliant, and she's a brilliant accountant. And she was the first person in her family to go to college and this and that. She achieved so much in business. Ask her if she wants to be an accountant or stay home with kids and all that kind of stuff. Ask her what's more fulfilling. She won't even blink, and she'll just tell you no. Like, you go be a girl boss and make six figures and be the senior level accountant, blah, blah. That doesn't compare to being a wife and mother and all that, you know. Kara says, I understand your anger. It is quite understandable that we, the American people, have been used and abused for 8 years under the... No, Kara, you're totally wrong. It's not 8 years. You're right about everything you said about 8 years. That is not how old USAID is. This thing started in the 60s. You're talking about near 6 decades of this, of funding regime change around the world, of just pushing all the anti-God, anti-conservative. That's all this stuff pushes. That's all they push. All the leftist communist agenda, they've been pushing that for decades, not 8 years. Oh, no. This is not new, this thing. This has been going on forever. And it's just all finally being audited and revealed, you know. So yeah, it's insanely bad. Oh, that was Michael. Sorry, Michael. I looked at the wrong name, but yeah, Michael. Sorry, Michael, not Kara. Kara didn't say that, but Michael. No, it's not 8 years. It is it's decades of this shit. So, and it's infuriating. Think of yourself, all of you. I'm assuming none of you are billionaires, and you've all worked blue collar like me. I've worked construction. I've worked in factories. I've done it, man. If you're wearing hearing protection or a hard helmet, shout out. You know, you've done it. I've done it. We've all done it. And maybe not as many women, but you work your ass off, women being waitresses and things like that. That's fucking hard work. And you pay your damn taxes, and these thieves are just handing it out like candy, like it belongs to them, to their idiot friends to go plant evil, demonic evil around the world. Teaching kids about all the nasty sex shit they want to teach everyone. And like they always have to do it with the kids, by the way, these fucking bastards. And using your money to do it, your flag, your money, your country, in your name, they're doing this shit. And you're the one that comes home late at night from wherever the hell you work, exhausted, and you got to get up the next day to go back to work. And you had to beg your boss for Saturday off to go to the birthday party and blah, 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 and all the stress and the unpleasantness of working. And then they just rip you off and do this with your money. Something you would never agree to have them do with your money if you knew about it. You know, it's such a betrayal. You know, they're supposed to be public servants, and then we're the servants, and then they're like, you know, European nobility in the 1500s or something, and just treating us like we're just donkeys here for them. You know, it's so disgusting. It's just truly disgusting. Kara says, man, where's Jericho? I hope he's all right. I work as a substitute teacher. Work has been slow. Weather is mostly the reason. If it wasn't for my VA benefits, I'd be living with my mom in Indiana. Sorry, I just burped. Well, I hope that turns around for you. I hope it does. Let's see. Kara says, I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. A 4-bedroom in Ann Arbor will cost $7,000. Are you saying a 4-bedroom like house to rent is $7,000? I'll tell you this: San Diego is the most expensive city in America. And oh, this is for my recorded show. Sorry, I'll take that down. Houses here, normal houses, 3-bedroom houses, 3-bedroom, 1,100 square feet, over $1 million here. Yeah. That the average price of a home in San Diego is right around $1 million, and they're just average. There's gorgeous homes here. There are mansions with acres, 30 bedrooms, blah blah blah. There's stuff like that over by the beach on the hill right there. But a normal house is easily over $1 million. A normal, if you have a 3-bedroom house, it's over $1 million here. If you go out to East County, it's a little more rednecky and this and that. You can get stuff, but it's still going to be 800,000. And these are just normal houses that would be 400,000 somewhere else. So yeah, it's extremely expensive to live here. But I saw a news report just in the last few months. It did say that San Diego was the most expensive city in America to live in, more than Manhattan or Honolulu or San Francisco or Los Angeles. And if you came and visit, if you've ever been here, you'd know why. It's amazing here. It's the best. We're year-round 60 and 70 degree weather. In the winter, it's in the 60s. In the summer, it's in the 70s. And whenever you see that map of America, they're like ice storm, and the whole map is blue and purple. Or it's in July, and they're like heat wave, and the entire map of America is orange or red. I want you to do me a favor. Look down at the southwesternly most corner of America at San Diego. Not even LA. Look at San Diego, and it will not be in that. The entire nation will be freezing into a block of ice. San Diego will be 63 degrees. The entire nation will be 110 degrees. San Diego will be 78. It's an anomaly where we are. Even LA doesn't. And LA's, LA, Orange County. I mean, to get to Orange County is only like 50 miles from here. Even they don't have weather like this. It's just the geology and all that, and the ocean, and then the hills and stuff. There's just something about this spot. Tijuana has the same weather as San Diego because it touches San Diego. Tijuana has the same gorgeous weather we have, but it has that whole problem of it's a different country. So I don't know if you want to move there. So it's a different country with a slightly different government. So yeah. But no, we're just doodling away, waiting for Jericho to take his sweet time. Yeah, I'll have to ask him what happened today. He told me he was on his way. So, but yeah, it's infuriating, man. It's really infuriating, but I'm not going to let it like make me all crazy and because like the liberals, they get all mad and they go into their car and record a screaming video. Matthew Marsden did a great one. He put on like a beanie and glasses. This is like months ago. I think it was back in the summer during the height of the election season. And he did crazy liberal. Now he is a fine, an English actor, right? Matthew Marsden. And I just talked to that guy yesterday. It's going to be a little bit before he comes on. He's been extra busy the last few weeks. So, yeah, we'll get him on. So I can't wait to go out to Texas to visit out there. I'm going to go visit him and Eric July and some different people sooner or later. And they keep telling me, oh, you got to go to this barbecue, that. I'm going to take you to this barbecue. So I'm going to go to 3 or 4 different places that are all the world's best barbecue. I don't know how that's possible, that they're all the best, but that's what I've been told. So, let's see. Michael Coulter says, I actually want to go back to school and learn entrepreneurship so I can own my own gaming business if a plan doesn't work out. I will tell you this, Michael Coulter, whatever you want to do, start it today. Don't wait anymore. Don't say, well, once this happens, because to me, that's like, and I'm not trying to put you down or shame you. I'm just giving you practical advice. That whole, the diet starts Monday. No, it doesn't. It starts now. And you're like, well, how can I do it now? It's such a big goal. It's like, take one step. It's like, how would you climb Mount Everest, right? You would climb it one step at a time. You don't worry about step number 2 until step number 1 is done. So if you want to do a big gaming company, I would tonight, after the show's over, go on the internet and do some web searches. Go to message boards where people talk about doing this. How's it done? And then I'd go to bed. And then tomorrow I'd do some more research, a little bit more. Ask. And the main thing to succeed in anything is copy people that already succeeded. If I want to know how to play football, I would copy what Peyton Manning did. Just watch all his stuff, talk to him, get his advice. What do I do, boss? Tell me what to do. That's what I would do. Find the experts and just copy them, And, it's a years-long process to succeed, but the years are going to pass anyway in your life. So don't dream of making a video game company. Make one. There's nobody that has one that they can have it and you can't. Remember, I told you a little while ago, I worked at Toys R Us for $8 an hour stocking shelves. Okay. Now I own my own publishing company and write and draw my own comics. And I didn't go from A to B like that. There were many, many, many steps in between. But these years, from age 18 at Toys R Us to age 46 now, they passed anyway. And if I kept waiting for the perfect moment, the secret is there is no perfect moment. There is no time to jump out of that plane with a parachute where it's going to feel safe. You're going to feel scared. You're going to feel like you don't have enough. You're going to feel like it's not going to work. And you're going to just do it anyway. And if you crash, well, you'll learn something. And then you're going to try again and try again and try again forever. That's our purpose, man. That's our purpose when it comes to our goals and success, is to either 2 ways to win and no ways to lose. Here's 2 ways to win and no ways to lose in every scenario. You either get your goal, or you, quote, fail, but now you have valuable information of what not to do in the future. That's what you do. I tell my daughter that when she does stand-up comedy. I told her, I said, there's 2 ways to win, no ways to lose. Either you go on stage and you kill and everybody's laughing, or you go on stage and you bomb and you're like, okay, those jokes and that timing and that blah, blah, blah didn't work. And now I know. And that's super valuable information. And in fact, knowing what not to do is more valuable than knowing what to do in many cases. Because what you shouldn't do is sometimes literally and then sometimes figuratively deadly, right? Picture ancient man in the forest, scavenging for berries. Some of the berries are safe. Some of the berries are poisonous. What would you rather know? Would you rather know which berries would kill you if you ate them, or which berries were nutritious for you to eat? And you can only pick one of those bits of knowledge. I'll tell you, these berries kill, these berries give vitamins and energy, but I only will tell you one. Which do you want to know? You want to know which ones kill you, right? So there's no such thing as failure. Failure, the quote, what people call failure is a gift. It's a gift because it's knowledge, and it's the most valuable kind. Failure is don't do that shit again. It doesn't work. That's what it is, okay? And as long as it doesn't make you end up divorced, dead, or in prison, then failure is a great thing. Welcome it. Embrace it. You know? So yeah, don't hold back. Don't sell yourself short. You are worth the work, and you deserve the success if you're willing to work for it. And everyone that did it basically was in the position you were in now of, well, I want to do it, but blah, blah, blah. And you shouldn't feel ashamed for thinking that or feeling that. This is a very normal thing to think. You know, I wanted to do indie comics for years when I was at DC and Marvel and all that, but I'm good. And they hire me a lot at Marvel and DC. So it's easy money. I don't have to go indie, right? I just always have a job, always have a job. Oh, you want to work on Batman? You want to work on Superman? You want to work on Star Wars? I had to turn down jobs. They threw so many jobs at me that I didn't go indie, and I was a little afraid to go indie. So happy I did, you know, so happy I did. And I would tell you the same thing. And like people say, oh, that's financially irresponsible, blah, blah, blah. You're going to get old and die. You want to regret that? You want to regret that you didn't do what Michael Coulter wanted to do? You can be the greatest at what you want to do. Yes, you can. Of course you can. It's a lot of work, but you don't have to be the greatest. You can just be great at it. You could be mediocre at it. You could just be sort of successful, but you'd be happy. You'd be doing what you want. But it isn't, never think that any of these things you see people do that are so great are just for them and not you. I tell anyone that wants to do comics, you can do this too. It will take years to get good at this, to get good at writing, get good at drawing, but it took me years. Like, come on, you know? So, let's see. Kara says, Gabe, do you know any good photographers? I'm trying to get better at that and do freelance or something. I don't do a lot of photography. I took it in college. I take very nice photos because I have a good eye for design, so I understand how to lay out a photo. I guess I'm the good photographer that I know, but I haven't used a like an SLR camera or anything like that for 20 years, right? Everything's digital now. But in college, I did use the single lens reflex, like a regular normal camera with f-stops and everything. So yeah, I did that in college because that was a required course. But no, I don't off the top of my head know any great photographers. You know, but I'm sure there are some in your area. You live near major cities, right? You live near Detroit or something like that, you've said. So, or at least I think you've said things like that. You live near big metropolitan centers, and when there's a lot of people, the odds of finding who you need to help you with something are great. They're huge. So I don't know. I don't know what your situation is. If you're married, you have kids, you're really busy, you're a student. But if I wanted to learn photography and I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't have kids or like that kind of responsibility, what I would do is find a local photographer and ask him if I could volunteer and help him. like a couple days a month, maybe once a week. Go down there, like, what can we do? I want and be upfront. Don't try to be sneaky in life. Say, I want you to teach me about photography. So in return, what do you need? What can I do to help around your studio? Can I maybe run some errands for you to pick up this, that, or the other? And in exchange, will you help me like learn to photograph? You know what I mean? I would do something like that. And you might get a no. No one might take you up on it. And you might have to do something else. But that's the first thing that comes to my mind is get around experts, get around them. But people don't want to just give you stuff for free because time is precious. If you went up to the photographer and said, hey, train me to be a photographer, he's like, I'm kind of busy, got a family, run a business. But if you said, hey, man, I'll intern for you or I'll do something, then he might be interested in having you around and you can learn through osmosis and asking questions. So that's what I would do. And if you're in a big ass city, there's bound to be some great photographers there. So, but yeah, it's there's no point in trying to just succeed alone. You know, I hire people, right? I hire Akeon to do pencil layouts. I hire a couple colorists, and you know, I have a YouTube person and a social media person and all that. And if you just try and do it all yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice. You know, for a long time, I tried to do everything myself, and you stress yourself the hell out and you burn out when you do that. It's not good. People actually do want to help you. It is a thing I had to learn. But yes, you people, you want to buy my comic books. You want to subscribe to my channel. You want to help me. And it took me a long time to accept that. And I'll say the same thing for you. There are people that want to help you. And but you gotta ask. People aren't going to read your mind. You gotta ask. And you gotta offer value. So like I said, ask the photographer you can intern, you know. So maybe he'll say yes, maybe he'll say no. I don't know. And if he won't say yes, then find another way to get around photography people. And another great learning thing is YouTube. I never was trained as a mechanic or anything. I've done advanced stuff, I think for me, to my car, watching YouTube videos, taking a whole door apart, replacing the assembly to roll up the window, replacing a blower motor on my truck. Like I've done things to my car just by watching YouTube videos. I'm sure every last thing you want to know about photography is on YouTube. Like for instance, the Dean Cain All-American Lawman graphic novel, I had never laid out a book in InDesign. InDesign is software to lay out the pages of any book or calendar, anything you're going to print, so the printing press understands exactly what you want. So the colors exactly the way you want. The pages are laid out to be printed and cut by the machine the way you want. I'd never done that. And I was finishing up Dean Cain All-American Lawman about a year ago. It was in February when I was finishing up the first volume. And I watched 3 9-minute videos on YouTube of how to use InDesign because I knew what it was. I'd just never used it. I watched 3 videos. I laid out Dean Cain All-American Lawman for the printer myself instead of hiring someone for thousands of dollars. And look at how gorgeous it came out. I had zero experience doing that. Now, it isn't fair to say it's zero experience because I have been using artistic programs on the computer for years. And I do use Photoshop, and the people that make Photoshop make InDesign. So it's a similar like ecosystem when you look at the menus and stuff like that, but it's not the same because it's a totally different program for a different purpose. But yeah, I trained myself on YouTube to do that. So Kara, I think a lot of photography stuff would be there. Let's see. Fail. First attempt. I love this. First attempt in learning. I love that. That's fantastic. Absolutely. Kara says solid advice. Of course. And Joe Musashi says the answer is always going to be no if you don't ask. Hell yeah. There he is.
I will not apologize for this movie.
I just want to say that you are seen and you are recognized because it is Black History Month, and I just want I just want you to know that everyone, we understand you have a struggle that we could never understand. We understand that we could never understand.
Right, because we weren't all raised in the same country. But go on.
So, do you point of personal privilege? Do you feel safe right now to continue with the show?
Well, I mean, kind of, but there is a way that you could make me feel 100% safe and heard and empowered and uplifted.
Okay, how may I uplift you?
And listened to and believed.
Right.
Well, this was from around the dark ages of 2020. And there was something that I saw, and I saw it in real life. I saw it online. I saw it in real life. And it really resonated with me. It really helped me like work through my trauma. So what you could do.
Was that generational trauma?
It was generational trauma and like my own trauma. and like from slavery, like their
Ooh.
trauma. It was like everyone's trauma was like my trauma, and it was
Wow.
traumatic. So like what you could do is
Point of
wear a
personal privilege.
safe.
Can I just tell you how brave you are right now and stunning?
I feel both of those. Thank you. Thank you for pointing it out. But
Please don't
what you
thank
could
me.
do,
Please don't thank me. You just deserve it for your black excellence.
My blexcellence. So what you could do from now on, if you could wear a safety pin on the lapel of your shirt,
got it.
That signifies that you're one of the safe people that I can come to.
Okay.
Come to with what? I'm not sure, but I can just
with
come
anything.
To you
with anything.
Whatever. But that safety pin on your shirt lets me know.
It lets you know that I'm an ally.
Yeah. Well, you remember as a kid where if you were playing tag, you had to get to base.
Right.
And like you were safe on base. Like no one could touch you on base. Like,
right.
You're base. If you have that safety pin on you. So
I'm here for you to be a base.
Ask that you do that. I would ask you to be my base and like
I'm here for you. The entire shortest month of the year, I'm here for you.
The entire 28 days. You know what? I mean, why are we testing makeup and chemicals on monkeys when we have a group of people that I think would excel in having chemicals?
Where is this going?
I'm just saying, the people who like speak in this tone, this upspeak, and like, colonizers and Latinx, just there's a type of person that I would rather see testing out. Like, why would you, instead of lifting up a monkey's eyelid and putting, eyeshadow under there and taping it shut for 3 days, there are other individuals who I think would be better at that. Let those monkeys, eat bananas or rip people's balls and faces off, whatever chimps do.
Yeah, why did chimps, when they attack people, they rip the face and they rip the genitals off?
Well, those are points of, because I guess chimps sexually assault each other. So those are the those are the tools of rape.
Sounds like colonizer stuff to me.
Well, I mean, that's what I've heard. So that's why they go for your face, your hands, your genitals, and your feet. Just to have those ripped off. I mean, bitten off is one thing, but like a crocodile or a shack. But to have a monkey just pull your genitals off and pull your face off and yank your hands off is just the level of pain I'm not ready for.
Yeah, usually dudes wouldn't complain about getting yanked, but
hey, not that hard. Hold on, slow down there, sister. You're not supposed to remove it. We can get close. We'll come up with a safe word, but don't remove it.
The safe word is, it backfired on you. Your safe word was don't stop.
Wait, no,
your safe word is don't stop. No matter what I say, I'm serious. Do not stop. That's your safe word.
And you think I would have learned from the first time that was my safe word.
Right.
I just can't. It's so unique. No, I don't want them to get confused with something that they've heard in the past.
Well, and you don't want some colonizer ripping off your safe words.
Yeah. So it's no matter what you hear from me, no matter what I say, do not listen to me. That's my safe sentence. But it's like when in a horror movie where the guy's going to turn into a werewolf and you chain him to something. No matter what you hear, do not release me. Okay, don't unchain me.
There's an episode of Seinfeld where Kramer and Newman get on the wrong side of the post office because they realize the post office is a scam, and then Newman warns Kramer, one day, on a day just like today, a man might be coming down the street, maybe a man that you know, and he'll abduct you or whatever. Like the post office is going to get Kramer. And then the post office guys, they're after Newman. And Newman's like, and he sees Kramer driving down the street. And he's all, Kramer, open the door, let me in the car. He's all, oh no, you said a mailman I know, and you're a mailman I know.
Oh, whoops.
So this will be TBQ. I guess it starts with a C, but I like it with a Q. To be continued tomorrow. I'll be working on this page of the Unstoppable Tyrus at 10:30 a.m. right here, so tune in for that. But that's what I got done while we was waiting for Jericho. Let me get rid of my iPad.
Beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Beautiful.
We're up to page 50 on pencils, dude. We're crushing.
Almost
and we're
about halfway there.
It's a 120-page book, so we will be to page 70 by the end of the month, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's a halfway mark.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, we'll be to page 60 in probably a week or two, and probably 2 weeks from today, and absolutely halfway done. So you don't have to worry about this
Don't
book.
worry.
You don't have to worry about this book coming out on time. So
Never do.
as opposed to other people that took lots of money and have taken over 5 years to do a book. So
well, I guess perfection takes time, huh? Jeez.
You'd like to think so.
Jeez.
But you remember that scene in A Christmas Story where he's got the decoder ring and he's like, what is it? What does it say? What does it say? And finally he decodes like, make sure to eat your Ovaltine.
Drink. Yeah, it says drink more Ovaltine. He's like,
and that's
what?
that's how some of the people who've been waiting years to get their stuff on like Kickstarter and you go, that's how they feel. They've been waiting years to get this stuff and they get it and it's like, oh.
Yeah,
So,
you can't do that. You can't do that. It's that part that as a kid, that part hits home because I don't know if kids still have, I don't think so, because I have a little kid. My son will be 9 on Friday. So the kids don't have this anymore where you would get things like on the back of cereal boxes or something you get in the mail and you like send it back, or there's something you have to decode or something like that. And your imagination just takes off. You know, you saw in that movie, you saw how excited he was at school to get home and listen to the radio to find out, you know, the final episode. What's it going to be? What's the secret message? And then this build up and you're like, yeah, what's it going to be? What? Drink more Ovaltine.
Yeah,
that shit
wasn't great.
Sucked. And Ovaltine was it made by by Carnation, which was probably a Nestle company or something, but it was like a protein shake. I guess
it was like a chocolate nutrition. It was like a replace your breakfast with this crap. So
yeah, it was good though. Vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. Strawberry was my favorite. Carnation instant breakfast. You're gonna love it in an instant. But Ovaltine only came. I think it only came in chocolate. I only ever had it in chocolate. But it was this powder that you could add to milk, and it was like a meal replacement. It was a shit.
Yeah, I remember eating a bunch of Frosted Flakes or some shit like that, and mailing away for His Highness. He used to be a senator, and then when there were there was a real crisis in the government, he got emergency powers, and he was made into the emperor. But I remember I mailed away, and I got where did he go? I got it here somewhere. I'll show you. I got hold on, we'll remove this. Yeah, I ate a bunch of cereal, got the box tops, and I got Senator Palpatine.
Oh, nice.
I got the action figure of Senator Palpatine from and he ends up being Darth Sidious, right? Or whatever like that.
Yeah, dude, the box tops, our classes used to collect those because they would get like school supplies and stuff like that if you sent in X amount of box tops.
I'll move him off your face. Sorry, Jericho.
Yeah, get that old man off my face.
Wipe them out. All of them. You are nothing but a rebel spy.
And was he Darth Vader's dad?
Well, he wasn't his dad. Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's dad. Spoiler.
Yeah, but I mean Palpatine.
Palpatine is just a freaky weird dude who had evil Sith powers.
Psycho,
he was a former senator, and then during a big trade embargo. The 1999 movie was about a trade embargo on the planet Naboo. That not exciting.
Sounds boring as fuck.
Right. Yeah, there was the big pictures of the Senate, the Galactic Senate with thousands of members.
Senate.
They're sitting around arguing politics, and you're sitting there watching this, like, what the hell is this?
This is and how much did they spend on that? Millions and millions.
I don't know. It made a ton of money. It was a hit movie, and then after a couple weeks, everyone was like, "Yeah, that sucked." So they're all so excited because there hadn't been Star Wars in like 17 years or whatever.
Yeah, they knew we were
never going to make another one.
Yeah, they knew that. Yeah, that really sucks. That's basically C-SPAN is what that sounds like. That's the most boring TV.
Wipe them out, all of them.
C-SPAN. If you want to punish your children, make them watch C-SPAN for an hour.
Don't forget
do it again.
Do you know who Jar Jar Binks is?
That's that weird alien.
He's the dragon that talks like this. He's a talk like this.
Yeah,
it's a super bad. It's like, oh my gosh.
He's like that brown slimy looking thing.
Yeah, he was like sort of amphibian kind of.
Yeah.
He's a Jar Jar Binks. Like
I know all the big hit, the heavy hitters, Boba
Chewbacca.
Fett.
I'm cool with Chewbacca and Han Solo because they're basically cowboys. That's like a Western, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, if
they're
you look
cool.
at Han Solo, he's even dressed like a cowboy. He has the blaster on his hip like a 6-shooter, and he wears a vest. He looks like a Western, like a bad guy, you know. So
him
cool.
and Chewie.
And then
I was
Chewie's
like
got like the Mexican bandito. He's got the bandolero across his chest, right?
Chewie's a shit. I like Chewbacca.
And he just goes around naked all day.
Dude, let it out, dude. No more to pull back all that hair. Bring a big old what's he called?
He's a Wookiee.
A Wookiee.
Right.
Yeah. Wookiee at this.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wookiee. Wookiee hair.
Wookiee here.
Yeah, he's probably like a dog too, like the red rocket going on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Yeah. He's like, hey man, look, if we're gonna be partners, you gotta put that shit away.
He keeps buying Chewbacca pants for his birthday. Chewbacca won't take a hint. He just buys him something like leisurely, like basketball shorts, you know, like NBA shorts.
Yeah, something comfortable.
Not that tight.
Something comfortable. No, I get it, man. But you might have to sit down and have a talk with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chewie's cool. Han Solo, of course, Luke Skywalker. Darth Vader
was whiny. Luke Skywalker was very whiny. I never liked him.
But he's the main. He's the man. He's the main character.
Han Solo's the cool one. The ladies' man. He's suave and debonair. Luke's like, but I was going to the Tashi station to pick up power converters with my friends.
But
you waste time. You waste time with your friends when your chores are done. That's a real dialogue from the movie, by the way.
But he's the main character. He's the man. He's the reason for the season.
I don't know.
But Darth Vader is by far the coolest character,
right,
of Star Wars. Period.
Right. Looks amazing. Awesome voice. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah. But you're not a Star Wars guy. You're just a very casual, I've seen it kind of guy, right?
Well, I don't sound like that when I talk, but yeah.
Yeah, it was my world until
I'm not into it. I'm not that into it. My brother too.
Yeah,
I tease my brother all the time. Yeah.
It was my life, Star Wars, until I was like 12 years old.
Yeah, my brother loves Star Wars. He has like T-shirts and all that kind of shit, figurines and stuff. I tease him whenever I can.
That's how he gets the ladies. Listen here, lady.
Hey, showing you my lair, please.
Would you like to see my limited edition Millennium Falcon from 1984?
Don't touch those. Don't touch those.
Oh, those are in mint condition. Those are in mint condition.
Clearly says right there, do not touch these.
Hands off.
On the shelves. Ladies.
I'm not going to let you see it. I don't care if you show me your boobies. You can't touch my Millennium Falcon.
Don't make me choose between these and your boobies, because you'll lose. You'll lose, sister. Uh-oh. Hey, fellas, you ever find yourself deciding between some titties or something else? You know what to pick.
But what if it was an original Kenner Jabba the Hutt action figure with the playset and Salacious Crumb, mint, inbox unopened from like 1983?
Ooh, you might as well be speaking Chinese. I don't know what that means. So I'm taking the titties. Thank you very much. I know what those are. I know what those are, but what you just described, it sounds expensive, but isn't that weird how something to one person is just like the crown jewel, you know, the super expensive thing?
Okay, if you must know.
But to somebody who doesn't see it that way, it's just like, you know. Like if I came across that at a garage sale, I'd be like, hey Gabe, do you want this? You're like, yep, sure do.
I have it. I actually have 2 of these. I think my mom I think my mom was a secret Star Wars fan because she bought us every action figure and so many of the vehicles. I have I have it all.
She saw how it made you feel. She saw how happy it made you guys. That's what
right.
She was like, oh, okay.
And we even have doubles of some characters. Like we'll have 2 Darth Vaders because they would buy one for both of us. But when you sit down to play with your brother, now they're 2 Darth Vaders. Now the story doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So we got into a lot of stories we make up about imposters and clones. You know,
yeah, so, supply and demand.
Right.
There's too many Darth Vaders, man. So value goes down. But I had a friend of mine, and his parents would buy him and his younger brother 2 of everything. So there were 2 toy boxes full of 2 of the same exact toys. It was so weird. It was cool for me because I got to play with them when I came over. Right. But they were totally spoiled. Their dad was a corrections officer, so he made a ton of money. So he would just buy them 2 of everything, so they never argued over it.
Wow. I remember my cousins who I'd always see movies I wasn't allowed to see at their house, Tim and John's house, Aunt Martha's house. they had many of the same Star Wars figures. So what my mom and aunt did, because me and my brother would bring our Star Wars men to the house, and then Tim and John had theirs, and whose is it? So before we got there, my mom took our Star Wars guys, turned them over, and put nail polish on the bottom of their boot or whatever. So all of ours had like a red stripe on the bottom where you couldn't see it.
Yeah, because I got tired of hearing that shit.
That was to keep the peace.
Yeah, here, give it to me. Here, there you go. Those are yours. Those are yours.
I was playing. My daughter was probably 4 years old. We lived in Colorado. She had a bunch of Barbies, and I'm sitting there playing Barbie with her on the floor in her room, and I'm bored to tears. And you think you can. The kids hear things and it goes over their head. They don't get it or whatever. And I know you do this because you're a comedian. I'm a comedian. My daughter's a comedian. And I know all comedians tell themselves jokes and then you laugh at the joke yourself, right? You do that. I do it all the time. I bust myself up with a joke I'll come up with. And I'm playing with these Barbies with my daughter, and I'm like Ken, and she's Barbie, and there's other Barbies. And I have Ken say to her Barbie something I think she won't understand because she's 4. I go, I'm tired of you. I'm going with this new Barbie. And I just walk over to the other Barbie. I just start laughing because to me it's absurd. And she goes, ah!
You're like, ooh.
And I'm like, oh God, you understood that.
Whoops, smarter than I thought you were.
Yeah, I felt bad about that. Like, no. I was just kidding. No, I was just going over here to tell her she was ugly and you're the real Barbie.
Yeah, that's who I want to be over there, Toots.
Yeah,
you. I was gonna go give her the what for, she?
I'm just putting that bitch on notice.
Yeah, I was gonna give her the what for, she? Stay away from me and my dame, she?
Yeah, that's right.
Like, yeah, no, calm down.
But yeah, that was a mistake. But let me bring into the show our guest for the night, one Jeff Speakman. And I don't know what I did to you that you put this movie into my life. I don't know if I hurt your feelings or something. If I insulted you in a way that you put this horrible movie in my life. I'm going to grab my drink and I'll be right back. So regale the audience with what they're about to see.
Man. This right here is the opening scene to a gym. We're going to call this a movie. We're going to call this a gym called The Perfect Weapon from 1991, starring this gentleman right here, who is the current head of the American Kimpo Society, Jeff Speakman. So, and his name's Jeff in the movie.
Yeah, that bothered me that they kept calling him Jeff. I'm like, wait, isn't that his real name?
Could he not handle that? Like, wait, I don't know. Like, he didn't understand. Who's this guy? That's you. But yeah, my name's Jeff. Yeah, I know, but this is your character. So, I don't know why that is, but his character's name is Jeff. He's Jeff Speakman. And the song that the movie opens with and ends with is a song called I Got the Power. I've got the power. By Snap. So that's so it's a pretty cool. Yeah, it's a pretty cool opening scene. Like he's doing martial arts in his living room, doing katas and shit. And he's a 10th degree black belt in Kimpo, a 9th degree black belt, some other kind of karate. So he's legit, but this is what you would see. This was par for the course in the 90s. This was, yeah, the movies right now are popular. Guys doing martial arts. They got Steven Seagal, they got Jean-Claude Van Damme. I got this kid over here named Jeff Speakman, right? Stuff called Kimpo. So they put together this movie. They had some respectable actors in it. Mako's in it, the little Asian dude. He was the guy who owned the movie theater in Bulletproof Monk. Also, again, another one of those Asian guys. You need an older Asian guy, put him in there. But he's Japanese. I don't care. Put him in there. The other guy, who's David Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China, that old Asian dude, he's in this shit. The guy who played Shang Tsung in fucking Mortal Kombat and who was Mr. Tanaka in Showdown in Little Tokyo. That guy's in this movie. James Liu is in this movie.
The big fat bad guy in this movie, his movie name is Tanaka.
Yeah, and he also James Liu. He was in Big Trouble in Little China, and he's another one of those 90s, those actors where you don't know their name, but you know their face. This movie was full of those guys. Also, Mariska Hargitay, she was in this as well, which was nice. She's another one of those chicks where you look back in the 90s, and she was like, man, she was like, there's varying levels of attractiveness, but a young Mariska Hargitay, gorgeous. A young Cindy Crawford, gorgeous. A young
Law and Order.
Oh yeah, a young Halle Berry. A young there's this actor named Shamar Moore. A young Cary Grant. Just some people are just gorgeous, you know. And Mariska Hargitay in 1991 was that. And then it has that little kid.
Her mother was Jane Mansfield.
Yeah, who died. Her dad was a Mr. Universe bodybuilder, Marty Hargitay. Jane Mansfield, who died 1967, 8, 9, something like that, in a car accident.
Yeah, she, I guess, ran into the back of a semi truck, and the top of the car's crushed, and she's killed. And when you drive behind a semi, that low bumper that it has hanging down, that's car height.
Yeah.
People refer to that as a Mansfield bar. Not kidding.
Yeah, because it peeled off the top of the car.
No. It was made after she died. The Mansfield bar is made after to like stop cars.
The car. But yeah, because she went under the trailer, it peeled off the top of the car. Her kids, Mariska, and 2 of her brothers were in the car too. She has like a scar on the side of her head, a big scar on her head. And shit
so that's that's the Mansfield bar right there.
Yeah, to keep them from going under the car, because it just like a tuna can, a sardine can, just peeled the top,
that
killed
must
her.
Have been horrific. Yeah.
Yep. And then
Michael Coulter wants the entire world to know he is an ass man.
Okay, I believe it. I never doubted it.
He's also sorry about it too.
Yeah, nothing to apologize for, but I never doubted that.
Hey, Michael, you're among friends.
You're good, man. This is a safe space.
Joe's Atmosphere for $4.99. Very generous, Joe. Thank you so much. Mentioned this popcorn movie on our martial arts show last week. Love it. Always wondered what happened to Jeff Speakman. Hail all. Yeah, I've heard of Jeff Speakman for the years. He's a shadowy figure to me because he was supposed to be Van Damme or Seagal, and it never took off for him the same way. But this is Paramount Pictures. Like, this is a big studio trying to make him a star.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the stars are not aligned for him. Whenever you send in a super chat, whether you like it or not, you get the booty.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty.
That is my favorite part of that is the girls dancing with Van Damme. They look like they have no idea what's going on.
Because they don't. They weren't ready for that.
They didn't even know they were in a movie.
They weren't ready for those kind of gyrations. And then in that country, you didn't have to go around with a clipboard to get their consent. So they were just like, what's going on here? But, it's unfortunate that it didn't catch on for Jeff Speakman. And as you watch the movie, you understand why. Because he has the look, tall, strapping, handsome.
He can move. He is a fighter, but
kicking the shit out of people. Yeah.
I don't want to be mean. Nobody sets out to do a bad job. I didn't feel a lot of charisma coming off of him.
Nope, that's the problem.
Didn't feel any zip or zazz, or he didn't. He
can't act.
He didn't have that zip, man.
He can't, man. His acting sucks. That's why it didn't work. Because look, he's a total package.
Right,
dude, super handsome. Look at him.
Right, look at him.
Built like a brick.
You wish you looked like that when you took your fucking shirt off, instead of a fucking bag of shoes when you take your shirt off.
Yeah, man. This dude looks great, but yeah, his acting is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
So, but they surrounded him with a great cast. All those people we named, and there's more.
They did what they could.
They surrounded him with all these people to kind of make up for that. And there was a Perfect Weapon 2, and then I think a couple other movies, but it just kind of fizzled out. So to answer your question, what happened to him? He pretty much dove headfirst into Kenpo.
Okay.
Some kind of Goro Ryu karate, something like that. He has a 9th degree black belt in that. So yeah, like I mentioned before, he's the head of the American Kenpo Society. So he's the man. Like he runs. There's multiple schools and stuff and associations around the world.
Nobody does Kenpo unless they get a say so from him.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if you got to face off with him or what, but if you watch the movie, dude, he kicks ass because Kenpo is all about. There's some kicks in it, but it's all about hand speed. Kenpo is all about fists.
Yeah, when he does some of those flurries on people, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's like crazy.
Since Ass Man was a topic for a minute in the chat, Heather says, I have a Kramer Ass Man shirt. That's such a good episode of Seinfeld, the Ass Man episode. After I saw that and stuff, I told my wife I wanted to make, I make custom hats. I make my own hats. I make my own t-shirts and stuff. Go to bigmancomics.com, pick up some awesome shirts. I wanted to make a shirt with the classic 80s California license plate. It's such an iconic license plate with the setting sun. But I wanted to make this shirt. And I told my wife about it, thinking it was so funny. My wife's like, please don't make that.
Well, maybe make the S's into dollar signs.
She didn't want to walk around next to me wearing this. What's the problem? Would you be embarrassed?
Well, they might start looking at her to see,
Oh,
you
that's
know,
true.
to see
They
if it's
look at it and
true.
be like, oh, that okay. He's not
You don't
fine.
want that. You don't want it. You don't want that kind of attention, man. You don't.
Uh,
But there's
but
there's
I
a way
just
that
thought
you
it was,
can.
I thought it'd be hilarious to wear that, and she didn't see the humor.
Well, there's a way that I think you can both be happy with that. Just got to give it a little more thought. You'll figure something out. But that'd be a hilarious shirt, though. That license plate, man, it's iconic.
Uh, yeah, it's a little something. So the perfect weapon. First of all, this movie doesn't have any stakes in the story. There's no stakes. And by stakes, I mean, if the hero doesn't stop the bad guy, then they'll set off the nuke in Washington, D.C., and World War III will break out. Those are stakes, right?
Mhm.
If the hero fails, then the Death Star will blow up the planet because Luke Skywalker didn't stop the Death Star. Those are stakes. If Indiana Jones fails, the Nazis will use the Ark of the Covenant to win World War II or whatever the hell they're doing.
Mhm.
Those are stakes. There are no stakes in this movie, and that really bothers me. Nothing will happen if he doesn't accomplish his goal. Nothing.
There's zero stakes.
There's zero stakes in this movie. There's some personal stakes, but like, okay, like he's. So I hate this movie. I'll tell the truth. I watched it at double speed because it's free on YouTube, and you could set the speed of a movie. So I just cranked the speed to double. It's like, but I understood the whole thing. But I'm like, this is awful. I knew it was going to be terrible.
It's bad. And you know what? This isn't even the worst one. I took it easy on us with this one.
It's no bulletproof monk. I'll tell you that.
Well, I got a few more in the chamber that are real bad. And when we're ready for those, I'll bring them out. But this one, yeah, this was terrible. This is Mako right here. You recognize this dude, and it's the classic. Hey, you pay us, an extortion fee from your shop, or we're gonna come in here and mess you up. You know, that's basically
a shame if these imported, Asian antiques got broken.
Yeah, if something happened to you, and like Mrs. Kim next door or some shit like that, right?
But those are the stakes of this movie. That this old man, if he doesn't pay protection money to this Korean mafia,
that's right.
They'll beat him up or kill him. Those are the stakes of this movie.
Not the Death
Star, not the Nazis. One antique shop that is probably keeping its nose above water financially might pay protection money.
That's right. I pay you already. I pay you 10% already. That's not enough. So he's on the phone right now. This is Jeff Speakman. Jeff. I mean, we guess we'll just call him Jeff. But he's an old, he grew up in the neighborhood shit. This old man, I don't know if he taught him martial arts. No, he didn't teach him martial arts, but he was just kind of like an old man.
He was his dad's friend, right? This guy kind of showed him to go take the martial arts.
Yeah. So he's on the phone with him. He calls him just out of nowhere, like, hey, what are you doing? It's me, Jeff. And then you hear the guy in the background, you're going to pay us, old man, or we're going to kick your ass. And then the phone just goes dead because the guy yanks the cord out of the wall. So Jeff's like, huh? And he just gets in his car and drives over there. I don't know how far away he is. I mean, yeah, he's not too far because he just kind of.
If you were talking to me on the phone, as we do, you and I talk on the phone. If we were talking on the phone and it suddenly hung up, would you immediately drive to my house?
Dude, I'm coming to see you, man.
You're making the 7-hour drive to my house?
That's right. And I'm ignoring all the calls from you on the way down there. I'm just going to.
Jericho, no, it's fine. My battery just died. You don't have to drive down here. I won't even be here when you get here. I'm going.
No, I have to see proof.
No, I'm going to Vegas for 2 days. I will not be here when you get here. I'm leaving now.
I'll meet you in Vegas then. I got to make sure that you are who you say you are. But yeah, it was dumb. He gets in the car, cruises up the coast or down the coast to Mr. It's like Mr. Kim or something. I think his name like Mr. Kim.
I think it is Mr. Kim. Yeah,
it's fucking terrible. So he hops in the red convertible 65 Mustang because
that's a nice
cool.
car.
And you know what? I told my wife this, and it's so true. All the main characters in action movies at some point will wear a leather jacket. That's just the law of the universe. Watch any action movie, doesn't matter. Tom Cruise, Gerard Butler, fucking Will Smith. I don't care who it is. At some point in the movie, they're going to wear a leather jacket.
Do you own a leather jacket? Do you have one?
I do have a leather jacket.
Okay.
And I am an action hero, so it makes sense.
Okay.
So all through the movie, he wears this leather jacket. Doesn't change his clothes. I don't know. And does this movie take place over a weekend, a day, 6 hours, 12 hours? I'm not sure.
I don't need to know to the minute what's going on with the calendar in a given movie, But I would like to know if this was 3 days or 1 day. I would like to
Yeah.
know that at least,
Yeah, like hey, I'm taking a week off. I got a week vacation. I'm out of here. Or 3 days. Something. Give us something to let us know the time constraints of this movie. But fuck it, we don't time. Forget. Time is of the essence.
no
Not in
time.
this movie. This movie's all time. He has all the time in the world to do whatever he needs to. You get some flashbacks to when he was a kid. His dad, I guess his mom left or died or something.
The
so
mom
his
died.
dad's-
The mom
Yeah.
died, and the boys are all getting in trouble because he has emotional problems and stuff.
Yeah, and the dad's like kind of rough on him. He's the oldest. Get your stuff together. What's your problem? You're not going to amount to nothing. All that kind of shit. So he's reflecting and having these flashbacks on the way down there. So this shit, when
the boys getting in trouble at school, the dad's like really mad, and this guy suggests he goes and learns Kenpo. It'll help him channel all that aggression and anger into something good. So the dad gets him into Kenpo. Smash cut to 4 years later. Now he's like a junior or senior in high school, and
he got his black belt. He's a bad motherfucker. There's
Right.
a little ceremony. He gets his ring and he bows to his teacher. And his teacher is this bald-headed Korean dude who's always in a gi and he never says a word through the whole.
and he had like bug eyes too. The teacher, he was like,
Yeah,
he looked really surprised.
He looked like somebody was standing behind you when he's talking to you. You're like, what, dude? You keep looking like someone's about to hit me with something. So this scene right here, this is within the first 5 minutes of the movie. So
Right.
this scene right here, you're just starting, like if you ever walked into a swimming pool and it gets deeper and deeper, you've just taken you're still like the water's knee high right here. You haven't gotten to the deep end yet, but we're starting to get into the watery dog shit that is this movie. It's fucking awful. So he's walking with his younger brother. For some, his younger brother's like young enough to be his fucking son. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Is this like a combo middle school, high school? Is what this is, or something?
You didn't go to a combo middle school, high school?
Also,
You didn't go to one of those?
as someone who was a high school athlete, they don't have track and field and football in the same season. Track and field is after football at every high school in America for a very good reason.
Yeah.
Many of the football players are on the track team and they can't be on both teams.
Yeah, it's in the spring.
So you have football in the fall, and then when football's over, then you can go into track so he's on the track team, the football team's out there, and that's like, come on, that's basic. Like, that's a stupid detail. His little brother's fucking with this big fat football player lineman, and
He's talking shit. Remember, kick your ass.
Right. And then the little brother flips off the lineman guy, and the lineman throttles the little brother. So then Jeff Speakman, the high school senior, comes and Kenpo kicks this kid in the head about 4 times.
Who fucks him up.
Right. And then everyone runs on. The coach is like he won't wake up. The football guy's like dead or whatever. The coach is like, call an ambulance.
This kid's dead. No, dude. His little brother keeps telling him, hey, you watch it, dickhead. My brother kick your ass. Hey, Johnny, knock it off. Yeah, whatever. Screw you, buddy. Hey, come on, let's go. The guy standing in his way. Oh, yeah? You gonna let your little brother talk for you, man? It's not worth it. So they walk past him, and the little brother turns around and flips him off. Dude, this kid must be 6'4", 320 pounds. This little kid's like 13. This kid's like 13. He's a little scrawny little shit. And he goes up to me, he's all, fuck you, little shit, and pimp slaps him, like backhands the shit out of him, bloodies his nose. So I'm saying, what's the problem? If you backhanded my little brother and you bloody his nose, and I'm a Kenpo black belt, I'm gonna fuck you up too. Right. I think he was totally in the right, beating the shit out of this kid. But he kicks his face mask off. So it gives you an idea how hard he kicks this kid. He kicks his face mask off of his helmet.
Face mask is held in place by 4 machine screws.
Yeah, until you mess
can't
with somebody
break the face mask off, dude. Like,
so the force it would take not only to kick the face mask off, but to kick just the face mask off and not his helmet. Like his helmet's still on his head. Yeah. The face mask comes off. So you're talking like machine level PSI to kick this fucking thing off. But don't worry about that. Okay?
Yeah, on the Blu-ray, on the special edition Blu-ray, they actually had a funeral for that football player. There was a scene
right there.
They cut it because the test audiences didn't like it. They thought it was too hardcore. Like,
yeah, and they had it right there. They're like, just put this kid in the ground.
Yeah.
So, here's the tongue lashing from his master. I am so disappointed in you, and that shit. And so the next scene in this movie, all of the low-hanging fruit of an action movie, all the tropes, they take every single one.
Right.
So
if you thought they were about to do X, You're right.
You're right.
It's like Mad Libs, the movie, only you could have just written it yourself.
Yeah, with some of the worst acting you've ever seen. He's in he's in scenes with other actors who are great actors, and he drags them down with him. And
he takes them into the deep water and drowns them.
Takes him into the deep. Yeah, it's really bad, man. It really is. And that's why if he could act like Arnold level, we're not talking Oscars here.
No.
But if he could act decent, he would have been right up there with him because he has the physical attributes. Just that fucking acting.
Oh, and after he breaks the football player's neck, the dad kicks him out of the house. I don't want you around Jason or whatever the little brother's name is.
Yeah. I would have been like, Dad, he smacked the shit out of him and blooded his nose. What do you want me to do? So you'd rather let me. Yeah, but you want me to let him smack the shit out of my little brother and just turn the other cheek? No, dude, you're getting fucking booted right in your face. Right. Just like you did. If my sons came home and that happened, I'd be like, who wants pizza? Huh?
I remember my brother was fighting like two kids in I think I was in 4th grade. We were walking home from school and 2 kids were fighting him. And he was up against a tree. He was a good scrapper. He was fighting, but I jumped in and started socking the other kid. Like, what are you supposed to do? Not do that?
My brother, man. You're tripping. I don't care. Right or wrong. We'll deal with that later. But I'm not going to have you standing here punching my fucking brother. No, you
should have told him that's why Mom died, because she couldn't stand to be married to a loser like you.
Like, see, don't you want to hit me? I sure do, you little bastard. Mom told me with her dying breath that you weren't shit in the bed and she hated you. Damn. But yeah, he you're terrible. All these things I've been paying for 4 years for you to take Kimpo and you finally used it. You're a piece of shit. It's basically what they told him. So here's the quintessential we told you, old man, now you're gonna pay. And they start breaking his shit. Jeff Speakman comes in and goes,
Hold on. Who are the worst mafiosos? The guys from No Quit, No Surrender, or the guys from this movie? Who has a worse plan to make money? Or Shredder's gang stealing wallets and televisions?
Just nickel and diming it?
Yeah. Who's the worst gang of the 3 gangs?
I would have to say that the No Retreat, No Surrender, Philadelphia Dojo, Crime Syndicate.
That's a horrible plan.
That was a bad plan. Move it to a bigger city. Okay, you have higher volume, maybe. But yeah, but not by much, because
what about running guns or prostitution or drugs? What about the classics that make a lot of money?
Man, that's like, hey, why don't you just buy stock in Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Pepsi? Like, stick with what works. You know what's up. You know what's up.
Did I ever tell you about the pedicab prostitutes in San Diego downtown?
No, but it sounds like fun.
No, I think I did at Comic-Con. You know those bikes that you could
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yep. I'll tell the audience really quick. So in 2009, I worked at DC Comics, and the boss there, Jim Lee, bought everybody baseball tickets to go to the Padre game. And it was a nighttime weekday game. But I was coaching my son's Pop Warner football team for the 9-year-olds or whatever. So my wife and daughter went to the baseball game downtown. We went to football, but when football was over, we went halfway through the baseball game. So we parked at Horton Plaza. It was a big mall very near the baseball stadium. And then we jumped in a pedicab. That's one of those little carts, and there's a bicycle attached to the front, and they'll pedal you to where you want to go, a couple blocks. Because we were late, so we want to go. We jump in the pedicab, and who does a pedicab for a living? You would think young men would do it, right? Mm-hmm. A beautiful, like 22-year-old white woman with blue eyes and blonde hair with slight Russian accent is pedaling the bike for us to get us there. Standing up, bending over, like, hey, what the hell's going on here? This is kind of provocative. And I just like, my son's little. He doesn't understand what's going on. But I'm like, this is weird. This lady is like, what the hell? She's too pretty to be doing this. And it's kind of weird with the tight pants and the bending over. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I thought that was strange. I'm having dinner with someone like 3 years later, and they tell me that they heard, and then I heard on the news too, there was a ring of like prostitution running off these bikes from like some foreign thing or whatever. And I'm like, I fucking knew that lady wasn't a real bike person.
I knew it, Inga, you fucking bitch.
I knew it. It was so weird.
And Natasha.
Yeah,
you were lying, Natasha.
You want to ride bike, or you want bike to ride you?
What do you like, sir? We have daycare for son. You don't have to watch. No, I'm good.
But I remember this is like 17 years ago, but I remember like, what was up with that lady that gave us a ride in the bike? That was weird.
So with that Russian That Russian whore bike lady.
Right. It's very strange. But I was vindicated
Very.
years later when I saw in the news that I was, in fact, my suspicions were confirmed.
Knew she was a Russian whore. Smell it
So-
a mile away. What's
So
good? I'm
anyway.
glad you got some vindication. That's
So
always
anyway,
good.
so yeah, that's if you're gonna do crime, don't go into the Ming vase store and knock over a bunch of vases that are like $28 worth.
Yeah, you dick.
Look at
Says
this
right
shit,
there,
too.
20% off.
Sale, 20% off.
Hey, please hit this section over here. All the cheap shit that won't
Right.
sell. So yeah, they come in. Hey, old man, you know that little kid. That's the little kid who was in what is it? Hook.
Rufio.
He's like, yeah, Rufio. He's that kid's again. He's in everything. You need a slick talking little Asian kid, ambiguously Asian kid. You don't know if he's South, he's Korean, Chinese, whatever. Perfect. So they start fucking shit up. Jeff Speakman comes in and literally goes, "Hey, do we have a problem here?" And the guy turns around with a stick and he goes, "I guess so." And then all through the movie, he's doing these little fucking corny one-liners. So bad. So he carries like two sticks, like back in his back, like swords on his back. Pulls them out, dude, starts lighting these dudes up. Now, I will say the action sequences when he's fighting are good. They're really
He
good.
can move. This guy can boogie when it comes to fighting, man.
Yeah, he's really good at what he does. His martial arts is on par with Seagal and Van Damme and all the superstars, all the martial arts superstars of the day. It's just that his acting was shit.
Like how low is the bar for acting to be an action star, dude? Like it's not.
They probably
bar.
got him coaches.
Yeah.
They probably did everything they could. Look at this movie. This had the budget. I'll look it up in a second, but the budget in this movie
Paramount
had to
Pictures.
be
Paramount. Everybody knows Paramount.
It had to be significant. So, you know, it's really too bad. But the action sequences, oh man, he's tearing these fools up.
Yeah, I like the action. That's the only thing. This had a budget of $10 million.
Yeah, dude, $10 million. It brought in 14.
Yeah, it made a profit.
They made a profit, almost 50%. So, but man,
well, I don't know what I've heard working in the entertainment industry, because I worked at Warner Brothers forever, so I hear a lot of stuff about movies and stuff. I've heard that the budget is the budget, and then the advertising is double that. So if a movie is $100 million, it's really $200 million because they spend that much to advertise and put the Marvel heroes on every lunchbox and bus stop everywhere. So I don't know how much they advertise this movie. I don't think they would advertise it like a Captain America movie, but there are millions more than the 10 for advertising. But it could have just been a little bit of money. Who the hell knows? Maybe it made a profit, maybe it didn't.
Can you pull up
people paid to see this? Hold on.
Because the cover is that quintessential night. Like you can see that's like the Out for Justice cover for Steven Seagal.
Oh, for sure.
Or was it damn it, Maximum Risk or something with Van Damme, you know, like that. You could see that. I saw that in the video store. Look at no gun, no knife, no equal. Just try him. You know, all that shit, man. It was.
You know what's insane though? In 2016, Steven Seagal made a movie, right? And guess what the movie was called? The Perfect Weapon.
But this is well into Seagal's movie sucking shit.
He stole the name of the other movie. Like, I know it's legal. You can't like copyright a name or whatever like that.
But this is that's 2016.
Right. And this is
you're
91.
talking, but you're talking like 10, 12 years into Seagal, his movie just being absolute straight to DVD horseshit.
I mean, Seagal shot out of a cannon with 5 great movies to start, and then it goes off a cliff after the 5.
But I wish we could have 5 great movies out of Jeff Speakman.
Well, we
That'd
got about
awesome.
5 minutes great with if you add up all the punching and kicking that he does, it's really great. So you got 5 minutes of Jeff Speakman. Hey, best I could offer, 5 minutes.
5.5 if you catch me on a good day. But so he proceeds to beat the shit out of these guys really bad. Of course, destroying 40% of the store while he's at it. Because he couldn't say, hey, let's step out back or let's step outside. Let's fight right here by all this glass.
You can't destroy Mr. Kim's stuff. That's my job. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Fucking these dudes up. But yeah, he beats the shit out of them. We'll be back. You know, some shit like that.
Right.
And then the kid's like, whoa, that was cool. How'd you do that? And hey, Mr. Kim, you know, and he's like, you know, whatever. They just like see each other after years. And whatever. So the next scene, they're like patching up the store, putting up wood. They didn't even put the pieces all the way together.
No, and they
And-
didn't just use a big piece of plywood. They're using like fence post.
Well, that way they can have a longer conversation.
That's true.
The plywood would have been too quick. And so he's out there. Well, so what you been up to and all this shit? And he's like, you know, whatever. I heard you were on the phone. Heard you had problems. I wanted to come check it out and whatever. It's nonsense. This is just terrible writing nonsense. A very
Well,
forgettable scene.
I always tell you the hallmark of bad writing is this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then that's not writing. That's a grocery list. You have to say this happened, therefore this happened, or this happened, but this happened. Then that I saw the South Park writers give a great speech talk about this concept. But you know, I always say, as a writer, you can't just make a grocery list of events, because then what's the coherent story? Like, oh, Mr. Kim, I was just in the neighborhood.
I was just hanging out, and I figured, hey, let me go see if anybody needs their ass kicked at Mr. Kim's Imports. And lo and behold, there were 3 guys in there who needed their asses beat. So I, figured I'd help you out. It's
been a while since I put some extra legal justice on somebody's face, So
yeah, there's no. If you like cohesion, then stay away from this movie because there's none of it in there. It's void of it. So this is and you keep thinking, all right, this next scene it'll get better. I think it gets worse.
So
and
then we have these are the gentlemen that he throttled at the end.
The henchmen. Yeah. So they're the coming back to the lair all beat up and shit. Like, what happened? You fools, there's 3 of you. Well, we couldn't help it. He had some guy there. What guy? Oh, white guy, tall. Like shit. And then the badass henchmen.
They go over the top with the arm brace, the nose bandage, the neck brace. They're just
how else are you going to know that they got beat up?
It's so cartoonishly stupid.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They might as well have put the bandages and like white bandages on a cross like that on his cheek. Like
he might as well have had like a big like sirloin steak on his head. Like
hey, boss, he got us, boss.
He might as well have had one of those red bumps and try to push it down with his thumb, Or like,
one of those
just like little Tweety birds going around his head.
One of those old like bags they would put ice in, and put
with the cap on it. The bag with the twist cap on it.
On your head. Hey, he got his boss. So they go back to the lair, and of course, there's the badass right-hand man henchman.
Right.
That you haven't seen yet. That's him. That's Mr. Tanaka, this big guy.
Yeah, he's about 700 pounds of Asian beef. This guy, he's huge.
Yeah, and he just kills people. He doesn't. There's no middle ground with this guy.
He kills them, and then he puts that little flower on their chest. That flower.
Yeah. I think the same guy wrote his part that wrote No Holds Barred. Because there's a lot of
that's his dialogue. What if this guy, this Tanaka, this big burly Asian dude, what if he was like a finely trained British actor? And in between takes, he says, should I go or should I go I don't understand which would be better. What do you think, sir?
Give me your honest opinion. I want to make sure.
Or I could go
See the difference?
I'm at your service.
See the difference? Oh, please be honest. I want to bring this character to life in the best way possible. I doubt it. I don't think he is like that off camera. I do not believe it. But if you like guys going, this is
he's like that
guy.
Off camera. Everything is. He's at the drive-thru at McDonald's. He's all.
Yeah, they kept trying to get him and Jeff. They can't send them to the same acting coaches. They couldn't get anything out of them. They're like, just do it, man. Just whatever.
Yeah. He killed him for wearing that magenta shirt and then put a flower on his chest.
So it's him. Yeah. Like they're not going to pick him up and that flower's going to fall off. But
it's like the wet bandits. He's got to leave a signature for his crime so you can make sure he gets caught eventually.
He's standing there with a flower in his fucking jacket. There's also, not only if you like, but if you like fake blood that looks like nail polish, you are going to
You're gonna love
enjoy this. You are going to
like
really
they got the blood at the Spirit Halloween store or whatever.
But that looks more realistic. This looks like almost that orangey 70s real
that
fake
looked
shit.
Like the preschool tempera paint in the 70s.
Yeah, that looked bad.
It was so red it looked stupid.
Yeah, I think they got their hands on some of that and decided they're like, hey, we got all this old blood left over from the 70s, blood left over from the 70s. Let's use that because it's really bad. And so then they go back, and this kid, of course, the street smart kid who never goes home to his parents and I don't know, survives on the street.
Well, his mom is dead too, just like the main character, Jeff.
Connection.
Right.
Connection.
The kid is walled off emotionally. He's also getting in trouble. And Mr. Kim lets him stay there when he needs to.
Yeah. And Mr. Kim is the only one who really understands him.
Right.
He takes the right approach.
The crazy thing is Mr. Kim killed both of their mothers, causing the problem. No, just
he's taking that secret to the grave.
Right.
Like, whoops, I killed them both on accident. Sorry, guys. My bad.
So the kid runs off to go do something. I don't remember what the kid's going to do in this scene, but it's not important. He runs off, and Jeff is talking to Kim, and you got, you can't let him do this. You got to go to the authorities, and blah 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 blah. but he wants to handle it himself, Jeff.
Yeah, he said, well, Mr. Kim says, no, I talk to them in the morning. They will understand. I will talk to them. He's like, all right, I can go over there right now and beat the shit out of him. No, I talk to them in the morning. We handle it the Korean way. And that's a young Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah.
Right there. So,
and she was in the earlier scene that I didn't show where they're like 9 years old and he's learning Kempo for the first time when he gets in trouble. And then his dad's friend suggests that Mr. Kim suggests he goes and take Kempo. And he and her are just kind of like flirty, fighting each other. And then, so she remembers it. My wife joked to me, like, she's there 25 years later because she's still trying to get her black belt.
she can't get past orange.
Right.
But yeah, she's still there. And it's like, they're communicating with their eyes. They're like, oh, hey, what's up? Let's bang. And then Mr. Kim, he's sleeping upstairs. He lives upstairs from his shop. And then he hears glass break. And then he hears doof, doof. These footsteps coming up the stairs, and then open the door. And it's Mr. Tanaka.
I didn't like his reaction. What? You're sleeping.
Nope.
You're in bed, Jericho, in the dark, and a giant figure opens your door, and you just kind of look at like, hey, what do you want?
What's up?
Because I think the Jericho I know is shoulder rolling, unlocking his legally locked up handgun, and filling this guy with 2 in the chest and 1 in the head. That's what I think would happen if you came into the bedroom at night.
Yeah, most likely the latter, especially when you had 15 seconds to do it. 15 seconds is a long time. Like you heard the glass break. Like as soon as I hear the glass break, I'm up. And then come up the stairs.
Yeah, coming up the stairs, stomping like Godzilla through town.
Now I'm in the proper shooting stance, elbows locked, lining up the front sight with the top of the back sight. And bang, 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 the bang, bang, bang. And the cops shoot until you're down. That's why they unload their magazine. So I'm just, following law enforcement. I'm gonna empty that whole thing.
There you go.
For sure.
There you go.
I mean, he earned it. You earned every one of them.
So Tanaka, the big refrigerator of a man, he ends Mr. Kim. He sends Mr. Kim to the antique store in the sky.
Yep. The big cheap Chinese import shit in the sky. Yeah, cheap Emporium shit in the sky. Yeah, Mr. Tanaka's out of here. And of course, he leaves a
flower on his chest to make sure everybody know it was a me.
It was a me. So
I was watching The Little Mermaid with my granddaughter. She loves the original one, not the new one. But the gorgeous, amazing, the beautiful cartoon one from '89. And right before Ursula has tricked Prince Eric into marrying her, she's combing her hair and putting her makeup, getting ready for the wedding. Do you remember that? And I don't know the lyrics, but she's like, and I'm the evil bad guy, and my plan is almost complete, and I will rule the seas. And it's like, you're singing your evil plan. And then Ariel's friend overhears you like, you got to be more discreet when you're a criminal.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, I know. Everyone I kill, I'll put a flower on them, the same flower that I wear.
Yeah. I'll leave my business card.
And then I'll be 6'4", 260 pounds. And when the coroner looks at them, like, this man's throat was crushed by just a fist. Who could have done such a thing? A giant man with the same flowers?
Hey, detective, are there any giants with flowers on them around town? I think so.
Ah.
This might be our guy. So I
There-
don't remember
there
why
has
he
it.
even goes down there.
And I'll have the little mermaid, and the ocean will be mine.
But as a kid, that's genius. Like,
You're
she's
singing
just,
your fucking plan.
she's just, but she's so evil. She's so evil. She just
Doesn't
sings about all
care.
the terrible shit she's gonna do. And what a great villain too, especially when she got all giant. That shit
Yeah.
was scary. Fucking Ursula, bitch. Ursula, you bitch. So I don't remember how he comes over here to check on Mr. Kim.
It
But-
doesn't matter.
Yeah, they probably didn't even. They probably just cut to him coming in the
They
room.
just wrote in the script, and then he comes back.
Yeah, and then he shows up. and then. Yeah, so he shows up. He's fucking out of here.
Heather
And,
says, I have guns but want a shotgun recommendation. The Mossberg 500 is a great one.
Yep.
It's a classic.
Yep, I have a.
This is
Mossberg.
not gun advice. This is an opinion. There's a great, rest in peace, Paul Harrell. He's a gun expert,
Rip.
amazing YouTube channel, but he died this few months ago of cancer. But he had a show talking about home defense, and people were like, oh, use a shotgun because it won't go through the walls. He got 2x4s and drywall and built a fake couple like hallway and rooms out on some country area. And he shot pistols and shotguns, and it goes through all of it. So that whole thing about shotguns not going through your wall, apparently that's not true at all. I never believed it anyway. Like, damn, these are bullets. This is buckshot. It's going through the wall. As far as I know, it's going right through drywall. I can punch through drywall. I mean, come on. So,
well, yeah, especially if you have a slug, that's going to punch right through your wall, no problem. If you have buckshot, that'll probably less, but yeah, that can still go through your drywall.
It's drywall. You could punch through it, dude.
Yeah. The only bird shot that would be what wouldn't do too much damage to us. So we have bird shot or buckshot, and it depends on your living situation. Is it just you and your husband? Is it just you? Like, you don't got a house full of kids or anything like that. So you could use buckshot, fuck somebody up. But a shotgun, I would definitely say a Mossberg. I have a Mossberg 500 Tactical Persuader with a fucking pistol grip. I recommend a pistol grip just because it's easier. But what took my wife and kids out maybe a month ago, and my wife shot the shotgun for the first time. My daughter too. She's 13, and I just had them hold it at their side, right up against their waist. You hold that thing like it's like one of your kids trying to get out of your arms because you're taking them to the bath or something like that. You hold them tight, hold that thing tight against your body. Boom, boom. You can shoot the shit out of somebody with it. If you got the skills and you want to put it in your shoulder and get down, you can do that too. But if you're just trying to protect yourself and you don't want to deal with all that kicking, just hold that shit on your side and fucking let them have it. But Mossberg 500, that'll do the job for sure.
Yeah. And they're not that expensive, couple $100.
Yeah, you can make somebody dead with that real easy.
Always check your local laws and follow your laws, YouTube.
Check your local listings.
We're not giving any legal advice, YouTube. We're not.
Yeah, I'm just telling you my experiences.
Yeah.
That's what I lived, and that's my truth. So, like, whatever.
Well, it is Black History Month, and you do need to be trusted. Jericho, I trust
I can
you.
say whatever I want this month.
I trust you, and I see you, and I hear you, and I honor you.
Yeah, but do you believe me?
I believe in honoring you.
Do you believe everything that comes out of my mouth?
I believe all women.
Well, I'm not too. I can identify as whatever.
I believe all queens. I do. I especially believe queens that slay. Like, I super believe them.
That's gross. That's so gross. Young people slang is so disgusting. Makes me mad. My daughter talks in all those weird words. Oh yeah, you're good. You could you could tear Arizona, you can get whatever you want, but if you're in the market for a shotgun for home defense, that's what I would use.
Can't go wrong with the Mossberg. You want the beautiful Italian, go with the Benelli.
You want to spend a little, you can go Benelli,
gorgeous,
Beretta.
Yeah.
What is it? The Keltec. You go Keltec if you want to. But if you just want something for home defense, and you get that Mossberg, you can put all kinds of cool shit on it. You can put a light on it, pistol grip. Don't do when I say not a pistol grip, I mean a forward grip. Forward grip, because it still has a stock on it. The forward grip is going to be right where the pump is. If you get a pistol grip, you're not going to have that stock. You're just going to be holding it like a pistol.
Right.
Those only look good in the movies to shoot. That thing will jump out of your hand.
Right. That thing.
Pistol grips suck.
Pistol grip and a shotgun is going to come back and crown you in the face.
Yeah, you'll be nice and knocked out for the intruder to.
Yeah.
to do as they wish. So yeah, Mossberg, put that thing up against your hip and give him the business. You cut a damn door in half with that thing.
Yeah. Legally. Kara 73, in Indiana, it's illegal to take a bath between the months of September and March. I don't believe you.
But it's
Like, I
probably
know
one of
you're
those old
I know you're
antiquated
not
laws.
lying. I know you're not lying, but I just have such a hard time with stuff like this. I know it's probably true. It
There's a
sounds about right.
town. There's a town in Northern California where it's illegal to put ice cream in your pocket. So just dumb shit like that.
They could just rewrite that law as like it's
Nah.
against the law to be a moron. Okay, don't put ice cream in your pocket.
If I catch you with a drumstick in your fucking pocket, you're going
again.
down. You're going down. And I'm talking the full force of the police department. You're going down.
You never have to worry about having food in your pockets. Hey, Mania, brother, the one and only sponsor of Double Impact. Here he is, Terry Bolea from Clearwater, Florida. How you doing, Hulkster?
We're doing great, brother. I'll put the pasta in your pocket, brother.
Now
I'll put it anywhere, brother.
And now you know that it's illegal to put ice cream in your pockets and all that. Are there any house rules that you have like that at Pasta Mania where you don't want them putting pasta in certain places where it doesn't belong, making messes? What are the house rules of Pasta Mania?
Number one rule, brother, is keep the pasta on your plate, dude. All right, don't put it on your friend's plate, brother, or your wife, or your kids, dude. We'll do that here at Pasta Mania, brother. You know how many pasta fights we had break out here, dude? When people are just putting stuff on everybody else's plate, brother. Keep your food on your plate, dude.
What was the worst place somebody put pasta that it did not belong, and you just had to freak out on them?
I had to leg drop him, brother. He reached over and put pasta right up his friend's ass, dude. Right there in the dining area, brother. I leg dropped them both, brother, and threw them out in the parking lot, dude.
Can I be honest with you for a second, Hulkster?
Always, brother.
I feel like I've known you for about 2-3 years now. You've been a great sponsor, and I want to continue the relationship. I do feel like there's something about Pasta Mania where a lot of pasta ends up in people's butts. I've heard you say this many times. Are you sure there's nothing in Pasta Mania encouraging this behavior? Because, once is an accident, twice is like, okay, that's a coinkydink. You've mentioned this about 15, 20 times now.
Well, I might forgot to mention, brother, that it's called Stuff It Wednesdays, dude, where everybody comes in, and only when you get in here, brother, if you sign something saying, I promise to take a handful of that sweet semolina pasta, dude, and put it up mine or somebody else's ass, brother.
But that was a prank, right? Because it was supposed to stuff it in the mouth. Like it was like a silly, we're going to eat a bunch of pasta. And then someone like edited it, right? Like that's what happened.
This server we had here years ago, brother, he said, hey, Hulkster, hey, dude. He said, what if we put it instead of somebody's mouth, brother? We stuff it up their ass, dude.
And you went with that.
I like to think outside of the box, brother.
Okay. All right,
you should have seen it a week after that, dude. We had people lined up around the corner, brother, wanting to get in a Pasta Mania on Stuff It Wednesday, brother, because they had an itch that they couldn't scratch anywhere else, dude.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that is devastating to learn about Pasta Mania. Guys, Pasta Mania, Clearwater, Florida. Kids eat free on Tuesdays. Don't come in there on Wednesdays. On Stuff It Wednesdays, you don't want to be near that place. All right, we'll see you later, Hulkster.
All right, dude.
There he goes, the great Hulk Hogan, everyone.
Dude, I had no idea.
Oh, Stuff It Wednesdays. I've never been there on a Wednesday.
Well, now you know why.
Well, you think it'd be like Wing Wednesday, or something like that. They have hot wings or something, or.
Dude, clearly, he just said he thinks outside of the box. And what's more outside of the box? Stuff It Wednesdays.
I don't like it. I gotta say,
I won't be there on a Wednesday.
Not a fan.
That's for sure. I will definitely avoid Pasta Mania on Wednesdays.
Not a fan.
So thanks for the heads up, Hulkster.
So anyway, Jeff Speakman, the actor playing the character Jeff,
you got it.
Finds Mr. Kim dead with the flower, the signature of Tanaka the assassin, in his very own bed. And
now, if you're thinking Tanaka, because Gabe just described Jeff as the Tanaka as an assassin, so you're thinking stealthy, maybe swift, light on their feet, something like that. Well, don't, because Tanaka is a big like
Imagine if a sofa was
stiff.
trying to kill you.
It's stiff. There's a scene where he climbs out of a vehicle toward the end of the movie where it was clearly a stunt double. Like this is the biggest stiff old man. Like it's
He put that in his contract. He's like, hey, Tanaka doesn't climb out of his own vehicles, all right?
Dude, why this guy? And Tanaka's like 70. Why this older dude is the main villain? I do not understand, but what we got, man.
I don't know. So the authority, right? Did the authorities arrive to look at Mr. Kim's body, and then Jeff Speakman leaves? Right? He like gets mad and goes for a sensitive walk or whatever. He's going to have emotions or something.
Does he leave? And then I think he leaves.
Well,
the
he
cops
just leaves,
come.
but like where the paramedics and the cops are, does he just leave his dead body there? I don't even remember.
I don't know if he called or somebody else's, but he leaves. The cops show up, then he comes back because then there's a scene where he's saying, "Well, no, I'm not even going to give it away."
Oh, hold on. This man he loves, Mr. Kim, who helped him as a child and has been his friend ever since, is presumably dead in his bed. But
he's dead.
He doesn't stay until the paramedics and the police arrive.
Mm-hmm.
That is a level of bad writing that you could find better writing on a Burger King menu, dude.
No, don't.
You would stay with the stranger who was dead until the paramedics arrived.
You don't understand. You obviously have not stumbled upon too many dead bodies because the first thing I want to do, and anybody really, if you talk to them, is you want to go for a walk.
Just want to go
find the body.
Walk through the most dangerous neighborhood.
You're kind of overwhelmed at the moment, a lot of emotions. So you need to clear my head and take a walk. Then I'll come back and deal with the authorities.
He gets jumped by a multi-ethnic gang here. It's a white guy and a Mexican guy. And
so it's the beginning of a joke. White guy, black guy, Mexican, and Asian. They walk into a bar. That's what hey, where you going, SA? Where you going, asshole?
Where you going,
give me your
Pluto?
wallet. Yeah, give me your wallet. Hey, give me your wallet. Nobody gets hurt. Yeah, man, we're going to cut you up. So he takes his wallet out. Is this what you want, huh? Because he's pissed. Remember, he just found Mr. Kim in his bed, so he's outside.
He just abandoned Mr. Kim's corpse.
Yeah, well, he'll be back.
He's going through a lot right now.
Mr. Kim's not going anywhere. He'll be back. So he's out on the street like,
what if Mr. Kim wasn't dead and you could have saved him? He was like almost dead on the edge of, breathing 3 times a minute and his pulse was slow. And you just left and then he died. Why would you leave?
He looked dead.
He looked dead. Well, there you go.
He looked dead. Your Honor, he looked dead.
Okay, Dr. Jeff.
Your Honor, he didn't look dead. All right.
Oh,
case dismissed. You're right. I've seen him. So
the coroner says he died 3 minutes after you left, and he would have survived if you've given him CPR.
That's not
really.
True.
He's like, wow, that's crazy.
That's not true, Your Honor. I believe him.
He tells the judge, you know what's crazy? That's not the first time I've done that.
String of bodies throughout his life that he was like, dude, you could have done something for all these people.
He's like, you know what? I used to be a paramedic, but they fired me for this exact thing.
Yeah, so I just stay away. I don't want to get involved. So he, he's upset. He's pissed. So he's like, he takes all of his angst, his teenage angst out on these 4 assholes who try to stick him for his wallet, and he just fucking.
Now, to be fair,
he
throttles them Steven Seagal style, dude. Like he just they don't even land a punch, and and it's cool, but it's a very short action scene, like seconds long. But
yeah, it probably takes
the only good thing about
seconds.
the Jeff Speakman action movie that I saw was the action. There's not a lot of it. There's not much. Thinking about an action movie, there's not much of it. But when he does it, he is an ass kicker. This guy, it's insane.
Dude, it's Kenpo is all based on hand speed. Yeah. So this dude's punches. I mean,
say that with the nerd lisp.
Yeah, he's all about hand speed.
Hand speed.
It's
all about hand speed.
Excessive hand speed. So he knocks all 4 of these dudes out in seriously less than 5 seconds. It's like,
right.
Yeah,
it's hard to keep track. Yeah,
like he's done, and the last guy's still falling. So his hand speed is off the charts. He's really, really fast. There's a scene in a movie called It Man. It's about the guy who trained Bruce Lee. It's about him when he's younger. It takes place during the Japanese occupation of China, like in 1938. And so there's a scene where the Chinese, and it's a town where it's known for its martial arts school. So there's a lot of martial arts masters in this town. but they're all, relegated to begging for food, and they all have this money and students, and now they're like working in these camps. It's real fucked up. And the masters, they can earn a one bag for every black belt, every Japanese black belt that they beat, they get one bag of rice. And it's like, not like, I shouldn't say a bag, but like one little bundle, like a fist-sized ball of rice in a little burlap like wrapping. So his friend, who's like a lifelong friend of his, he beats these Japanese black belts. He beats like 3 of them. And so he's walking off the mat, and then the Japanese general just has him shot, even though he won. Boom, killed him right there on the mat. So then Ip Man, who's played by Donnie Yen, who's a huge Chinese action star. This dude is fucking legit. He tells him, give me 10 black belts. And he's telling the translator, who is this Chinese dude, and he's like, are you crazy? He's like, give me 10 black belts. Tell him. So he tells him, and he goes, and the guy's like, okay. He's all 10. He calls out their names, and they all surround him, and they all, jump on him at once. But there's 2 scenes where they call it a chain punch. We're just like, right. Dude, crazy. But if you ever seen that scene, that's what Jeff Speakman his hand speed is like. It's crazy.
Hand speed.
Excessive hand speed, maximum
hand speed is lethal.
Maximum.
These hands are registered weapons with the government, actually.
Yeah. Stay out of the way, guys.
Well, he is the perfect weapon. That's why the movie's called The Perfect Weapon.
Perfect weapons.
Anyway, he beats the crap out of these dudes for trying to take his wallet after he abandoned Kim. Heads back. It's been a while now because it's nighttime. Now the sun is out.
It was a long walk.
You can see the sun coming through the window. So clearly,
it's like 9:30 in the morning. It's not like sunrise.
So maybe Mr. Kim lived for hours near comatose, and Jeff just abandoned him.
Yeah, Mr. Kim made it to the phone and called. That's why the cops came.
Right, that he called his own ambulance.
He died right by the phone.
So, a first-year writing student would have written something better. It's
just like,
so horribly written.
Whoops, could have saved him. Whoops. And so that cop standing there in the gray jacket, that's his brother.
Plot twist. Who is the cop?
What? And then that Asian dude right there, he always plays the Asian cop on the Asian part of town. The Korean town cop, the Japan town cop.
Well, he does look like the 45-year-old, 20-year veteran, because he's balding. He's a little pudgy, but he looks like he has a little muscle. So he does really look like the grizzled cop kind of guy.
Yeah, dude. They said assemble the Avengers team of B-list and C-list actors to support this dude. And they got him. This movie's full of people where you're like, I know that dude's been in everything. But that dude's been in everything cast right here. Yeah. And just Jeff's bad acting countered all of that shit. Just fucking just crossed it out, dude. Just completely washed it away like it never happened. It was that.
I'm looking at the writer of this, David C. Wilson. He wrote The Perfect Weapon. And then he wrote Supernova in 2000. I have no idea what that movie is.
Okay.
He wrote Terminator Salvation, uncredited rewrite, I guess, on that.
Oh, Christian Bale.
Yeah, and then he helped write The Man from U.N.C.L.E., the 2015 Henry Cavill movie. So there you go. That's his credit. That's the credits on IMDb.
So, well,
yeah.
I hope he did all those projects for free after making this.
So anyway, yeah, Mr. Kim is dead. They're all at his house. The investigators are there and blah, blah, blah. But the guy in the gray suit with the red tie, that's his little brother, the one who flipped off the football player, that he broke the football player's neck and killed the football player or whatever. So now his little brother's a cop, and he's a roguish vigilante.
Sure.
So the effects these two brothers' shattered childhood has led them in 2 different directions. One guy's by the book, and one guy's by the fist.
The loose cannon.
Right.
And this movie comes in at 87 minutes.
It's a tight 87 minutes.
They couldn't even get 90 minutes out of it. Come on. You couldn't even get 90. Like, we don't have 3 more minutes. Like,
This is like a special
this is
episode of Law and Order or something, you
Yeah,
know?
they're like, we didn't even edit anything. This is all the footage that we fucking got.
Like we slowed down the credits to
87 minutes. He's like, we were at 80 minutes yesterday, so you're lucky you got this 7.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
my
it was a
goodness.
solid 90 when they had the funeral for the football player kid, but they took that out because audiences thought it was too grim.
No, we can't.
You know, it's like you're 5 minutes into the movie and you're burying a kid. Like, that's really like a damper for everyone.
We can't, dude.
Oh, by the way, don't go, don't run, don't walk, don't go see Dogman, the children's animated movie. I took my granddaughter and my wife to see that Sunday because I figured it was harmless fare for a child, and it was harmless. It didn't seem dirty or woke or anything, but it was like, you ever watch Teletubbies or just something that's inane and you can't deal with it because you're an adult? It's just too boring.
Mm-hmm.
Dogman was like that. It was just awful, dude.
My wife took my son to see it last
I bet
Friday.
your son hated it, even though he's 8 or 9 or whatever. I bet it was too boring for him. I bet.
I don't know. He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me if it was. But
did your wife say she hated it?
No, I don't think we talked about it. So
My wife and I were just sitting there like, when is this thing going to be over? Oh my god!
Kill me. All the people. Let's see, Mako. Not all of them, but Mako. The teacher, the detective, and Kai, which is one of the bad dudes, which is the guy from Mortal Kombat. They're all Japanese, but everybody's playing Korean.
Well, you know what they say.
I mean, apparently so. That's what they're saying. Yeah. And dude, every Asian dude from an action movie in the 80s and 90s is in this fucking movie. It's crazy.
If I acted, they would have me play all kinds of races, right? They'd have me play Mexicans. They could make me play all kinds of South Americans and Arabs,
Native American.
right? Yeah,
you can play everything.
Yeah. So, Secretary Not Sure says, "Don't go see Wolfman either." Lame. Yeah, I saw Sonic like 3 weeks ago. Sonic 3, excellent, very funny, no wokeness, no filth or anything like that. So, yeah, Sonic 3 was fun. Jim Carrey's hilarious. So, anyways, he talks to the bald cop there with the blue tie, and the bald cop tells him where he can find some of these bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
So he heads over to this dojo where some of these guys are training, and he challenges these guys to a fight. And it's like, we were coming out of racism in the mid 80s and the 90s, where like it was so Obama ruined everything with the race relations in this country. But like, Jericho, you remember like in middle school, high school, like those late 80s to the early 90s, it was like, oh, we could talk about race in a very comfortable way now as a country. Like nobody cares. Like in the mainstream, we stopped caring about race and this and that, and people would, daringly say this or that about white or black or whatever. But it was like, oh, the political correctness just didn't seem to be there. It was really nice the corner we were turning culturally, and I just heard a little bit of that in this scene where he's taking on this Asian guy, and he's like, "Come on, white boy, show me what you got."
Yeah,
and it was like that's the very 90s kind of thing, So,
but it wasn't. There wasn't, all this patriarchy.
I think you said it now about the white man. Ooh,
yeah, it's so much more loaded with all this other bullshit. And it was just, yeah, you're in Koreatown with a bunch of Korean dudes in here. Let's go, white boy, and to disrespect him. You're bringing your ass up in here, he's asking them, to where he can find this dude who has a tattoo on his arm. So he's basically asking them to rat their boy out. And he says, and normally you would have the bad guys say, "Hey, you beat all 3 of us, we'll tell you where he's at." But he tells them, "I beat all 3 of you. You guys tell me what I want to know."
Right.
And the guy goes, "All right, full contact, no pads." He's like, "All right, no problem." And so they rough him up a little bit, but he fucks him up. And so the really fast hand speed combo that he does on the guy, that's one of the clips that I use on my live streams and shit, or some of my videos. But man, he does
some
a
fantastic
combo in here,
kicks, great combos. Yeah, really
dude.
good. Jeans too,
dude. Fucking these dudes, and he's a big guy. He's got to be 6 foot. That'd be 250.
He's 6'2". He's a big guy. Yeah, big.
240.
He's a little big for a martial artist. He's a beefy guy. A lot of muscle.
Yeah. The big fucking dude. So he would be, working these fools. But to be that big and that fast, I mean, those punches got to be devastating. But
Right.
he's throwing some kicks too. Like you see him in the jeans, he's doing his thing. He's throwing some kicks. He's fucking these dudes up, man. He beats the shit out of
Are
them.
those late 80s, early 90s acid wash jeans?
You know it. 91, dude.
You're right.
91.
Right.
So
And
yeah,
just
he's fucking these
blasting
dudes up.
dudes. Then
I
the dude
mean-
doesn't want to surrender or tell him, and then he's just cranking his wrist, and then the guy gives up.
Yeah, and he goes, "Who says it hurts? It doesn't hurt to ask."
Right.
He gets out. I mean, he has some corny ass one-liners. Dude. I don't know who's writing these. But who said it?
Michael C. Wilson was writing it.
Yeah,
I told you who the writer was.
Michael, we need to talk. And this is like a classic, funny kind of scene where he's telling the guy he's a cop. He's basically
This is the brother that's the cop, the brother of
Yeah.
Jeff.
asking like, "Hey, did you see anything? Did you see anything over at Mr. Kim? Oh, Kim, yeah, and he kimchi." He's like, no. I was asking about Mr. Kim, and he said something else. Oh, yeah, this, and he's putting the food in the bag, and he's like, no, what? All right, yeah, thanks. And he gives him the money, and the guy goes, "Have a nice day."
Right.
He's like,
Right.
"Oh, hey, you did speak good English." But instead of
Oh.
saying, "Fuck that, give me my money back," he just walks out, takes some kimchi and some other shit. It's so fucking bad.
Right.
Oh, it's bad. Mm.
So then they have sort of a memorial ceremony for Mr. Kim, who I'm saying Mr. Kim was still alive in that bed, and Jeff left him to die. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here. And he's like,
There you
"No,
go.
wait,
Awkward.
please, no." He's like,
And then
"Fuck
it feels like everyone's wearing this ceremonial type of pastel clothes that's like respectful. It's like wearing black to a Western funeral,
that." Mm.
and he doesn't wear it. He's too good to wear their clothes
Come
to
on,
the
dude.
funeral. I feel like that's
Jeans.
disrespectful.
Jeans, leather jacket, sleeves rolled up. Let's go
Yeah.
tribute to Crockett and Tubbs, and let's get out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little
man.
bit of stubble for the ladies, you know.
He's a man on a mission, dude. I got time
Yeah.
for all these garments. I got to go kick half of Koreatown's ass right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's bad on all levels in every way. This movie's shitty, and you could tell it's filmed on a set. That's painfully obvious in this movie. It was done on a soundstage somewhere. Oh, it's bad.
So yeah, his brother and dad are at the funeral, and then there's tension there. He hasn't spoken to his dad in ages, and the dad hates him. The dad still hates him for kicking that football player in the face 15 years ago. That's
Yeah,
weird.
dude, come on.
I could
Dude, that
see
was like 20 years ago.
I could see getting in trouble for doing that and being grounded for a week,
Fuck.
and then 20 years later, your dad's like, "Oh, you were such a handful in high school. You kicked that kid. You broke his fucking ribs. I can't believe it."
But
But
dude,
you
even
would
if
like
you
sort of like laugh at it 20 years later.
put that kid in a wheelchair, like I'm not gonna be mad at you 20 years later for that, being that he backhanded and broke your little brother's nose. Like, dude, you're lucky. That's all I did to you. And you can still see that his brother, especially around his dad, is still this timid little fucking.
He looks like a whipped dog, though. That's actually good acting if he did that on purpose.
I hope so. Somebody's got to do some good acting in this damn movie.
Someone's got to do it.
Who's gonna do it? Jeez, not the main character.
So then Rufio, I don't remember his name in this movie, but in the Peter Pan movie Hook with
Which came out the
Dustin
same year.
he's in the funeral, but then he sees someone, so he makes a break for it. He takes off. And the cop he chases the kid. The kid tells him such and such criminal saw him and this and that, and he's got to get away. And Jeff is chasing the kid through and then him and his brother get in a fight now, and his brother pulls a gun on him in the alley.
Well, after he backhands him,
I know,
fucking backhands his brother.
Like he's gonna shoot his brother in the heart. Again, when I think the writing in this can't get any worse, it just like it finds a new level of awful.
Mhm.
You don't pull a gun on your brother because he smacked you. What the
Why
hell?
not?
Dude?
Dude, and how many times is the character going to get backhanded in this fucking movie? He's been backhanded twice.
Well,
Every
it's that
20
haircut
years,
of
dude.
his. He has a haircut that just says "slap me across the
He's been
face."
backhand me. He goes
So
to the
that big
barber. Hey, give me
slap will
the
go flying when you slap him.
hey bartender, barber, give me the backhand me.
Remember that meme?
No
of just,
problem.
the meme of just fuck my shit up, dude. Did you ever see that meme?
Uh-uh.
Oh, I'll find it, but just go ahead and keep going. I'll find it and show it.
Yeah, they're like in the alley, and he just fucking. He's like, "Oh, you're always like this, flying off the handle, blah blah blah." No, I don't. And he fucking flies off the handle, backhands his brother. Then yeah, he pulls out a strap, dude.
This is an
Pulls
old
out a
meme.
strap. Oh
like
man,
10 years ago. Barbara, what kind of cut you want? Him. Just So here's
That
a good thing for
looks-
men. If you're a man,
dude.
if you pay for a haircut, you go home and you look like this. The advantage of being a man or a woman, you just shave your head.
Dude.
You get that haircut, you go, oh, me. You just buzz your head like, okay, we'll
And
grow
never
it
go back to that barber again.
back. Yeah, you grow it back in 3 weeks, like nothing happened.
Dude, that
I love
looks...
it. Hey, what kind of cut you want? Just fuck my shit up, bro.
Got you. Got you. Say no more. Say no more.
He's all say
Oh.
less.
Dude, that's like, it says dentistry. So he's like the orthopedic surgeon or the
I guess.
orthodontist
Yeah.
or something.
Hopefully he doesn't work on teeth the way his barber works on hair.
Dude. Because I like my hair to reflect my doctor style.
Ugh.
Golly, man. He said, so that's just a group of disappointed people looking at him from across the street like,
He was still
You piece
alive,
of
and you
shit.
left him there in that bed to call 911 on his own.
you piece of shit. So they all just look at him and don't say anything and just kind of shake their head like,
Mm-mm.
Who are those guys? They look like a team of lawyers. Who the fuck are those dudes?
It's Dewey Cheatham and how?
Dude. So yeah, and Marisha Hargitay's like, I wish I could bang you, but I gotta roll with them.
So
And,
then he has
what's
to go
the-
to the crock pit.
What's gonna happen here? What's gonna happen in the nightclub scene?
Now, as a writer, as I always say, who loves crime and 80s and 90s action and loves the nightclub and loves Down by the Docks, this movie does hit those notes. It doesn't execute, but we do at least go to those locales. And I will say, as a comic book artist and writer and someone who loves writing crime, Crock Pit with crocodiles, it is such 80s cheese, such 90s cheese. It's perfection to me, because this can only happen in a universe of action movies. I'd be hard pressed to believe the Crock Pit was a real place. Maybe it was.
But do you think they do that? Get those neon lights and shit as a
That's a lot of
fake
money on a
nightclub?
$10 million budget. You're spending like $100,000 to build this stupid Crock Pit neon stuff everywhere.
yeah.
You know?
But it looks cool.
I love
Looks
it.
super cool.
It is perfect for an action movie. It is perfect. So yeah, he goes into the Crock Pit because he wants answers about who killed Mr. Kim, when technically it was me because I abandoned him while he still had a
I
very
did
low
that shit.
pulse.
But
But I have to assuage my guilt. So I have to find someone else to put this tremendous guilt on, because it was probably kind of mostly my fault for leaving him.
But I'm gonna try to convince myself that I had nothing to do with it.
Sorry, that
Yeah.
voice was a little tough. Ooh. That
No,
gravel in the voice was bothering me.
He's gonna talk himself out of taking responsibility for sure.
He's gonna just be throttling one of the bad guys. The bad guys are already unconscious. He's like, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault.
Say it. No,
Say it wasn't my fault.
So he goes in and you see a crocodile in like an actual that thing behind him, but it looks fake as shit.
Right. And then guess what happens in the nightclub with all the beautiful people drinking booze and the pulsing neon lights and the thumping.
I wonder. Somebody say something smart to him? Yep. And then,
Right.
but he goes and grabs a guy like, hey, who killed Mr. Kim? Fuck you. And then the guy who walks up behind him is another guy who's been in everything. He was one of the henchmen in Action Jackson. He had that show Renegade in the 90s with Lorenzo Lamas, which came on like 2 years after this movie came out.
Did you know? Can I pause you right there? Renegade, that was Lorenzo Lamas, right?
Yeah.
The USA Network built some studios in San Diego right by here. Okay. It's on Ruffin Road in an industrial part of San Diego, Kearny Mesa. And remember the Indian Native American guy in that show? And he had the big
The same guy in this scene.
He would be at the stands in my high school on Friday nights during football games. I don't know who his kid was or nephew or whatever, but I saw him multiple times in my high school because those shows were filmed here in town. So I guess Lorenzo Lamas and some of the people, they probably lived here temporarily while they were filming that. But I remember I would see that guy at the high school when I was playing. It's weird.
Yeah, he's in this scene. He's in he was in Hard to Kill. This guy's fucking a big tall Indian dude. And so yeah, he's like, hey, you're in the wrong club, buddy. And then that's the first guy that and he hits him like 30 times in his face in like 2 seconds. Like, brah, quit. And so he fucks up those dudes. And then this guy, Mr. Tanaka, of course, they hit him in the back of the head with a beer bottle. That's if you want to knock somebody out, hit him in the back of the head with a fucking Bud Light bottle, and they're out of here. So they knock him out. And this guy, Mr. Tanaka, is about to commit murder in front of 250 fucking people. and just punch this dude in his brain. He's like, then, hey, no, leave it, let him live.
Yeah, in the
Get him out of here.
shadows in the corner, the boss waves to knock off. It's like, no, don't kill him.
Oh my. So this dude's just going to commit murder in front of all. The club's silent. Everybody's looking at this dude who just got in a big ass fight.
To be
And
fair, they had a neon crocodile outside. What could you expect?
You can expect fighting in there. There's crocodiles in the title and the name of that place. There's going to be fights. But
If I went to a nightclub, I'm 46 and married 28 years. I don't go to nightclubs. But if I went to a nightclub, it had a neon crocodile, and I saw two gentlemen get into a martial arts fight, and one of them died, I'd be like, I can see it.
Yeah,
you know,
this is a crock pit.
It is. I mean, they warned you when you came in. It's a crock pit.
You knew it. You knew he walked in there. So they haul him out unconscious and fucking dump his ass somewhere. It's so stupid.
Now, one little victory for this movie, but it isn't special because every movie does it. The lighting is great. I love the green and the pink in here. That's fantastic. The orange on the floor, it does separate the planes. It's not much of a compliment, but I do like it. They could have done worse. So,
hey, we're just looking for a little nuggets here.
Small victories in this movie.
Yeah.
And the action here was good. The action when he beat these guys, that was pretty good action.
Yeah, the action's not the problem.
Right.
The fight scenes are not the problem.
No,
it's just everything else.
It's just the action's good. It's just the story doesn't make sense and the main guy can't act. That's all.
Other than that, we're good. Oh, and some of the supporting cast, like this Mr. Tanaka, can't act for shit. And you can just tell he just looks cumbersome. He just looks not flexible, very stiff.
Well, his suit isn't tailored correctly. Look at the sleeves just going up when he sticks his arm out. Like,
dude, and he's too old. Why you got this old ass dude who can't move around anymore being the bad guy?
But you know how it feels to wear clothes that don't fit correctly, and you're just like,
yeah. Like if you're wearing a jacket that's too small.
Look at that jacket. That's bothering me, and I'm not even wearing it. I'm just looking at that jacket like,
yeah, it just looks like it's too constricting. Like he can't even. Like you can't scratch his back.
He can't cross his arms in front of his
chest. Man, it's fucking and he's
old as
fuck.
Give people the degeneration X in the crotch. He
couldn't tell him to suck it. But he's just so fucking old. Why would you get this old ass dude to be the final fight for the main character who's like half his age?
I don't know.
God, that shit pisses me off. That's so stupid.
I don't know.
Old ass fucking dude.
Well, he didn't kill him. They throw his ass out.
Lucky.
Then he goes back to where the funeral was and just kind of, I don't know, he's just lamenting everything, all his horrible choices in life. It's never made clear what he does for a living or if he's married or has children or anything. He has an expensive Mustang, but we don't know who he is or what he does. So the character development here is very flat. I have no idea what this guy's deal is, other than he killed a kid in high school. That's all I know about him. So.
Dude, he was 61 years old in this movie.
Tanaka?
Yeah, he's 61 years old.
Holy shit.
5'11", 280 pounds.
Wow.
Why you got a 60-year-old dude playing the main bad guy that he fights at the end of the movie? Yeah, so fucking dumb.
It really bothers you.
It does. He's just so stiff, like Frankenstein. Like
this guy died 24 years ago. His name is Charles J. Kalani Jr. So that sounds Hawaiian, Kalani.
Mm-hmm.
He was born in Honolulu. Okay, sure. And he was a Professor Professor Toru Tanaka. He's a smart guy. He went to
no, that was his he was a professional boxer.
Wow. But he died 25 years ago at the age of 70 in the year 2000.
Congestive heart failure.
That's too bad. That's too bad. But yeah, they got an old guy to play the heavy here. So anyway, and then he runs into Seinfeld Fall. You ever see that episode of Seinfeld where they're trying to get to the Chinese restaurant?
I didn't watch Seinfeld.
Oh, you'd like it. I think you'd like it. It's very funny. I think it's very clever. But there's an episode, the entire half hour of the episode is they're trying to get seated at a Chinese restaurant and everything is going wrong and other people taking the table and they're standing in the lobby of a Chinese restaurant for the whole half hour of the show. It's actually hilarious. But he plays the host. So every time I see him, I think of Seinfeld fault because they finally leave. They're like, fuck this, we're not getting a table. And Seinfeld, Elaine, and George and all them, they leave. The minute they walk out of the restaurant after waiting, he comes out and calls their name for their table. Let's see. Nick's Wabakato Wilson. Jericho Green, you know who he be. J to the MF Green. And love you, Gab, which was probably meant to be Gabe.
Hey, love you, Gab.
Thank you, Nick Swabakaudo Wilson. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong.
And Tanaka, he served 11 years in the United States Army.
Wow,
That's cool.
That's cool. Very
A
cool.
lot of actors back in the day served in the military. You don't see that shit anymore.
No, you don't. Secretary, not sure. When George missed the phone call, that was so funny. Yes, he was trying to set up a date and stuff like that. And you should check out Seinfeld, Jerk. I have no idea why you haven't seen it, but it's
What's the deal? I don't know.
What's the deal? What the hell on food?
I just never.
Oh my God! The contest, the summer of George. When George, the Yankees owner, hires George, but then they think George died. Like, there's so many good. That show was just. There's a reason it was the #1 show for like 9 years straight. It's hilarious, that show. So, I think.
I guess it was pretty popular, huh?
A little bit. #1. So yeah.
Kind of popular, maybe.
Kind of popular, yes. Very funny show. So anyway, there's the guy from Mortal Kombat. What does he say? Like, he doesn't say you're next. He says something about your soul.
Your soul is mine.
That's it. Your soul is mine.
But he does say that. He says, you are next. When he's talking to one of them. Somebody he was about to beat up in that shitty ass movie. You talk about a shitty movie. Oh boy, that's a bad.
So what's this part of the movie here? I just watched this movie 3 hours ago. I don't remember any of this.
Your brain is like, I'm not holding on to.
Well, I was also drawing, and it was on my iPad at the same time I was drawing, so I'm sort of watching it. But I remembered everything except for this part. What the fuck is this part?
Oh, so what's his name? Hold on.
Rufio?
No, the Young, the bad guy. He was just in the limo with. So Young tells him that hold on, let me get this fucking guy.
Oh, Young says there are 4 different Korean mafia families, and they killed so and so, and it wasn't this one, it was this one.
Yeah.
He's like, and how do you know it wasn't so and so? He's all, because I'm so and so, like I'm the head of that family or whatever, and it wasn't me. And I want someone to go and avenge Mr. Kim and kill these other mafiosos, but you've got to do it for me because I don't need the other mafias knowing that I am sending someone after one of my own. That's what this scene was about. That's right. So he sends him on a wild goose chase to kill other rival mafia guys.
That's right. And he buys it hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
Doesn't question it. Oh, I'll go kill him for you. Even though he hasn't shown that he's a killer.
Right.
Like he doesn't have a military background or anything like that. He's just, oh yeah, you told me you did it? All right, I'll go commit murder for the first time.
Right. So he confronts these guys, but does he kill him here?
No, I think he's just working because he tells him he stays in this building all the way up at the top floor. He has security. So he's just working his way up.
Right.
To that dude just, choking out and beating the shit out of his henchmen one by one. Snatching them through windows and shit real quiet.
And then he works his way to this guy, huh? And this is the guy, the leader or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, you're going to die. And he goes to break his neck.
And then we find out the plot twist is little Rufio is he's related to this guy.
Well, he's like his uncle. He's like, he takes care of me, but he looks out for me, and blah, 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 and protects me from Young. Who sent you here? Young. Then he sits down. He fucking like plops down on the couch, and he waits a couple beats, and he goes, Young. They're like, so you come in here, and this guy's a terrible actor. I thought Jeff was bad. This old guy in that fucking velvet robe is fucking terrible. He's like, so a man tells you that I killed someone and you believe him. Yeah, he fooled me. Shucks. Like, it's some of the worst shit you've ever seen. Then the kid goes, what do you mean? Young is the bad guy, you dick. And he turns and looks at him and goes, Tracy, and sits down. It was, And so he tells him, he goes, and it gets so bad.
Now, can I give a little comedy writing advice?
Please.
Don't write a joke that has an expiration date 30 minutes from now.
Yeah.
The kid called him Dick, and then he's like, Tracy, the old 1930s comic character Dick Tracy, right? The reason that's a joke in 1991 is because the summer before, Ned Beatty and Madonna and some other people starred in a movie about Dick Tracy.
Mhm.
So Dick Tracy was kind of in the zeitgeist in 1991. So you're making a joke that 4 years later, nobody's going to get the joke.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Even if you get the joke, even if you know who Dick Tracy is,
It's
that
stupid.
wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. I do want to see Dick Tracy again. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
It's horrible.
It's very cartoonish and bright colors and real silly shit.
And then the 1950s cartoon, they put it on TV when the movie came out, and it's so racist, the cartoon. I remember there was like an Asian character, and there was some dish of food. It was like called chocolate ragu, and he kept saying chocolate ragugu. Like through the whole episode, he kept saying that. And me and my brother were just laughing our heads off because it was the most ridiculous thing. But yeah, chocolate ragugu. I still remember that. I was like 10 years old when I saw this.
Yeah, dude, this shit came out years ago. So this the kid, this is the classic stupid action movie trope where the kid, he's like, well, I'm gonna go get Young. He's like, if I let you live, what are you going to do? So me and Young have some business or some unfinished business, and I'm gonna finish it. Yeah, we get it because you said you had unfinished business. So you had to put that button on.
He's
it.
like,
So
I'm gonna finish. Like,
it.
could you please do it quick because I want this movie to be over. Like, please
Yeah.
finish the business in the next 40 seconds.
Well, you only got 87 minutes. So he says, the kid's like, I'm coming with you. No, kid, stay here. And it's so chunky and choppy and not fluid at all. And he stops. No, you stay here. I'm going with you. No, you're just a kid. The kid is right. No. If he goes with you, he can show you how to find Young. He's like, yeah, I'm a kid, but I know how to find Young. So
yeah, the kids that act on the Barney TV show are better actors than this. You know?
Yeah, so he needs this kid to show him the underworld and how to find Young so he can twist his head off instead of the wrong old man. Ugh. And so that's his brother, and he's pointing it out. Broad daylight, super fucking noticeable. This is
my
fucking
gosh.
This.
They have the kid lie to the cop brother. Jeff Speakman says this: I want you to lie to my brother that you can positively visually ID this guy so we can arrest him and attack him or whatever. Even though you've never seen him, I want you to say the guy that I tell you is him is him. So they drive up next to the guy, and the kid literally is doing the eyeballs through the newspaper. Like this is Scooby-Doo or something.
And guess what? The guy notices. Isn't that weird?
Why is that the boy looking through the newspaper at me?
Because they're like right next to each other, the bank drive-through. So they're what, 6 feet apart?
6 feet apart. This stupid kid is looking through the newspaper.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. So you thought it was
worse? Somehow the directors and the actor, they find a way to make a car chase boring. It's a very boring car chase.
Well, when the car's going 15 miles an hour.
Right.
Because he's chasing him in this huge limo. Tanaka's driving this fucking limo, so it's not like super quick or anything. So they're doing a 15-mile-an-hour car chase with him.
This is like OJ in the white Bronco. It's like
with half of the LAPD behind him. Dude,
AC Cowlings. You know who the fuck this is? AC yelling at the 911.
Dude, this fucking car chase ends at some industrial part of town where it looks like it's on the outskirts. It's like empty lots all around it. Like you could totally tell they were somewhere where there was nothing around them so nobody could get hurt. These cops don't even have patches on their shoulders. The fucking cars don't have writing on the side.
Party City costumes for the
yeah, the cop uniforms say Party City on them. And
no, these are male stripper police uniforms.
Yeah, you can see like the buttons on the side where they can just tear their pants.
Yeah, they can just grab the crotch and pull it, and their pants will come right off.
Oh, dude, it's so fucking bad. So the car, his limo crashes into a big truck that's transporting other cars. One of the cars rolls off and lands. So the limo lands on its side. A car rolls off the top of the the car transport. And now it's resting on top of the car door.
Jericho, not any car, but a 1990 Ford Escort station wagon.
Ooh, a brand new car.
That is a Ford Escort. I know that grill of that stupid car.
It's an ugly. The early 90s were a tough time for auto design in America. This car is so fucking ugly. So the car is resting on top of the door that he needs to get out of. So in reality, you'd have to wait for the fire department to come. cut you out of there. But this is Tanaka, so he pushes the car off of his car so he can get out.
Now, to be fair, a Ford Escort in 1991 weighs 2,287 pounds.
So a ton. Now,
now I am a weightlifter. I have a squat rack and the full gym stuff right here with me at my home. I lift weights since I was 14. And I will do overhead military presses. They're not great for your shoulder. I don't know anyone that can overhead press 2,000.
Yeah, and he's not. He's not like the width of that car. And he's only 5'11", so he's not going to have enough. Like, he's not tall enough to get his legs bent enough to push that kind of weight.
It's a
2,000 pounds.
2,287 pounds is the empty. That's the empty weight. That's not with 100 pounds of gasoline and all that in the tank or whatever.
Yeah, he just pushes that off, no problem. No
I
problem.
feel like if you overhead press 200 pounds, I'd be really impressed with you.
Yeah, 300, 400, 500. Wow.
No, you're breaking your back doing that.
But 2,000, why not? So he pushes 2,000 pounds off of that. Then this is the part where it's an obvious stunt double of him climbing out of that car. Like, it's all behind him. You never see his face. You never see his head. They're like shooting him from the shoulders down. The stunt person was smaller. It was fucking awful. So he gets off of he climbs out of the car, goes over to the Party City cops. Freeze, freeze, show me your hands. Freeze, 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 freeze. Dude, I would have shot that dude so many times. Your big, crazy
just
ass is coming towards me.
Pressed a fucking car over his head.
Yeah, dude, you get 2 freeze, show me your hands, and I'm emptying that gun into your chest. For sure. But no, freeze, stop, no, freeze.
And look at the age of that. Those are revolvers. When did the California police, they switched to Glocks in the mid to late 90s, right?
Like mid-90s.
Right.
They still got a few years.
Right. If this is 91, they're using a 6-shot revolver. Wow.
Yeah. And there's 12 shots between them. Let them have it. So they don't, and they go to arrest him, and he bam, bam, chops him, fucks him up. So now Jeff and his brother show up. What do they tell the kid? Stay in the car. And he gets out. He starts running. Jeff, no! And because he thinks Young is inside the limo, so he's just blinded by rage. He's going to kill that old man in front of the police, right? So
it's a real smart plan.
And his brother tells him, he's all, hey, you're my brother, but I'm coming down on you with the full weight of the law.
Can I just say Jeff's an idiot? The main character's a moron. He breaks some kid's neck in high school. He apparently doesn't have a job. He leaves his surrogate father's figure to die, doesn't call 911. And now he's going to murder this Korean mafioso in front of about 8 cops.
Yeah.
Also, he tells a child to lie to the police about, a criminal's ID. He's a bad guy. He's a horrible guy, and he's a stupid guy.
Dude, he just takes off running, full sprint, past Tanaka, jumps on top of that car to get Young. He's going to kill this old man in front of the cops. So Young's not in there, and he goes, shit. And so his brother pulls out this fucking antique. I mean, this is what they were using back then. This stun gun, fucking monstrosity. And he hits him with it. He's all, this is 50,000 volts, man. You better freeze. And you see in the background, the cops are still laid out. So these guys are like in comas right now. And fucking he electrocutes him. And then he finally takes him down. She electrocutes him a second time, finally gets him down. They cuff his hands.
He rips out those cords the first time, and then he snaps him again.
Hits him again, boom, that drops him. They fucking handcuff his hands in front of him, which is stupid. Your big ass is getting your hands handcuffed in that back. And then he basically fucking causes them to crash, and he escapes out of the cop car.
Well, he did look so swift and fast. He could escape easily from police on foot.
Dude, the most lumbering, fucking stiff. It's I just never seen an old stiff. And as this is the main fight. This is the final fight scene guy. Like, this is what every action movie has and needs, is the final fight. And a 61-year-old big ass dude is who
The
you.
brother with the gnarly head wound from the car wreck.
I'm telling you, the blood work in this movie is fucking stupid.
Tanaka, they crash the car. Tanaka's big fat ass escapes and steals the gun.
Yeah, dude,
That's
there's
not
blood
true.
coming out of this dude's ears.
Look at
Blood
that.
coming out of his ears.
And out of his scalp. He could be bleeding to death. It's a good thing he wasn't on the edge of death because his brother would have just fucking left him and not called 911.
Took off run. I can't.
He'd go for a walk in the ghetto and beat up more multi-ethnic gangs that are pickpockets.
Perfectly multi-ethnic though.
You're in the
Perfectly.
wrong neighborhood, motherfucker.
Get in. So yeah, look, dude, the blood coming. Okay, I'm not a doctor. All right, I'm not even close, really.
Yeah, that's dark blood coming out of his ear too, man. That's thick.
That's like liver blood. But I'm gonna say this: if blood is coming out of your ears and your scalp like that, go to the next one, Gabe.
Yeah.
You are not going to be sitting up having a conversation with your brother in hours.
No.
Somebody's going to be in a medically induced coma.
I read a news story this morning, and this isn't funny at all. It's actually very heartfelt. But that horrible plane wreck in Philadelphia, that little medical plane that crashed with like 5 people on it. You saw that last Wednesday we were doing the show. There was a boy who was in a car nearby, a little 10-year-old boy. And when that plane hit and blew up, shrapnel was flying out of the plane, just parts flying 1,000,000 miles an hour. And the dad told him to get down because it was like hitting the car. And the little boy, like, he was 10. He like covered up his sister, who was like 5 or whatever. And then the little boy got hit in the head with a big chunk of metal. And I think it stuck in his head and he was bleeding. He went to the hospital, coma, blah, blah, blah. But he woke up on Monday. And it's the cutest thing. He said, what day is it, Dad? And he's like, it's Monday. He's like, oh no, did I miss the Super Bowl? Because he's in Philly. He's an Eagles fan. He's like, no, it's next week. He's all good. He's all, is my sister alive? Did I save my sister? And he's like, yeah, she's fine. And then the last part was, he's like, you told us to get down, but then I covered her, and then I thought I was dead. You know, and it's like, wow, how brave of the little kid, you know? So I thought that was a positive story from a negative story. A positive story of a 10-year-old being heroic like that. So, but I thought it was cool that he was like, he thought he was dead, but you know, he covered up his sister. So I thought that was awesome. So, but seeing the brothers in the hospital here just jarred my memory of the story I read this morning. So
yeah, I'm glad that happened. It ended that way.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna tell a story where the kid died. I wasn't gonna do that.
I was like, oh, we're just going. This is
and then he died, and everyone was super sad, and it was awful. And why did I tell that story?
So back to the movie, huh?
Yeah. All right. Well, good night, everyone.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, I loved it though. I love the kid saying, "Yeah, I covered her up. Then I got hit, and then I thought I died." Like that's such a little kid thing to say, you know?
Yeah. Like no, you're still here. Thank God, you little turd.
Right.
Thank God.
So, and then he'll get to tell a cool story when he's older. When people ask him what that scar is on the side of his head or whatever.
Yeah, gonna get him a lot of poon in like 6 years. Get it, kid. Get it. You earned it.
Yeah. He's 10. Wait till you're an adult, college maybe.
Now you got about 3-4 more years, and you know what happens.
Oh, Tony said she saw a video of an old man being hit at a restaurant. I saw that. People were inside of an Arby's or a McDonald's or whatever, and a chunk of whatever, like a smaller than a baseball, right in the head, and he's like gets woozy and then falls on the ground. Can you imagine that thing's going hundreds of miles an hour?
Yeah, look at it go through his fucking head.
Right. It must
of
have not been steel. Maybe that was a piece of plastic or something else, or maybe it was metal and it was slow enough. But it seemed to knock him unconscious. I don't know the story of what happened to that old guy, but I saw the video. How horrible.
Yeah, we're made out of bullshit. That thing would have went fucking right through him, dude.
So we're at the hospital. And this is the dad, right? Him and the dad are kind of having this moment where they're still funny with each other, all because he kicked that kid in high school.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was fucking his own brother or something. Like you fucking put your brother in a wheelchair. Like it was some kid at school, some dickhead who slapped he slapped your younger son bloody. He slapped him bloody. And you paid for 4 years of this kid going through martial arts, and you're mad that he used it on some piece of shit who slapped your other son. Man, I'd be like, why'd you stop there? You should have fucking monkey stomped that dummy. Glad you kicked his face and ass off, you piece of shit. touch a little kid like that, you bastard. That was too
Right.
funny.
Yeah, I don't.
Look, you little
Again,
shit.
the writing in this just nothing makes sense in this movie. The motivation is all over the place. It's just
It's a mess.
he's
It's a
not
fucking
much of an
mess.
actor. He's not much of an actor, this Jeff Speakman,
Wow.
but maybe if they had a great script, it would have carried it. He would have delivered the lines wooden like he does, but they're great lines and it's a great story and it's compelling. But they didn't do him any favors with this script. This is the worst kind of bad movie in my opinion, because it's not, because I can deal with low budget and horrible special effects and stupid things, but the kind of movies that bother me the most are boring. Like I love when a movie is bad, but it's super entertaining because it's so bad it's hilarious. That's actually a good movie to me. It's actually fun to watch a movie that's so dumb that it's funny. But this isn't even funny. It's just actually dumb. You're just like, wow, that was stupid.
Yeah, it's a lot of head scratching with this movie.
Right.
It's what? Why does it look like that? What the fuck is going on here?
There's no stakes in this movie. The bad guys killed his old buddy, mentor, father figure, Mr. Kim. And the stakes are this. If he doesn't get revenge and kill the bad guys, then they get away with it. Those are the stakes for the whole movie. Now, here's how you can change it. One simple writing adjustment from Gabe. Same thing. Bad guys kill Mr. Kim and all that. But the bad guys kill Mr. Kim because he found out they were going to assassinate the governor and trigger some nonsense. And now he's going to get revenge for Mr. Kim and stop them from kidnapping the governor's daughter or whatever, like big deal thing.
Yeah.
So, but the bad guys aren't doing anything super bad. They don't have some super crazy bad guy plan. So it's just like you can't care about this movie. You're just like, you sure this is just 87 minutes, dude? This is so terrible.
Well, I can see where they wasted some of the money. Look how many extras are in that hallway.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 people. You cut that down to like 2 doctors walking down the hallway. We're good. They're in the background. Like, man, they wasted a lot of money on this shit.
So what happens next? He talks to his dad. Then the bad guys are talking about the warehouse before the boat comes. What is with the boat? I don't even remember that. I just watched this movie like 4 hours ago. I don't even remember what the boat is.
I think the boat was a way for Young to get out of the country and go to Korea to avoid.
Because he killed Mr. Kim?
Yeah, because that's why Jeff is trying to find him before he leaves to Korea.
But isn't he a gangster that kills people all the time and does crime all the time?
But this one, I don't know. I gotta go to Korea.
Okay. He's got to leave town and go back to Seoul, South
Get
Korea.
out of here. Hey, Jeff Speakman goes for a walk. This guy goes to another country.
I guess.
He's just like, I gotta clear my head. Gotta clear my head in Korea. You never cleared your head in Korea?
So, no.
You should try it.
No, thank you.
It's
No,
amazing.
I'll take your word for it. So Rufio tells him about the warehouse and the bad guys, and this is where we're going to find them, and I'm going to help you out, and blah, blah, blah. And then we do get a fun thing, training montage.
Yeah.
He packs up his gear. We get the music. He's flexing. He's punching. He's kicking. He's got his sticks. I don't even know what they're called. Someone in the chat might know what they're called. And he goes to his own dojo.
Eskrima.
Is that what they're? Oh, the Eskrima sticks. And then he's beating up the punching bag with the sticks, and he's going crazy. And are they playing I Got the Power again? Are they playing that again?
I don't think so.
No, they play it at the end of the movie. That's right.
Beginning and the end. But dude, he's going to town. Like there's like a couch or something there. It's like standing up.
Right.
Dude.
He's a badass. He is a badass.
Is there, or you know what? I have an 11-second clip of one of the fight scenes from this. I play it all the time, so it's not going to get copyright written. But it's basically just that scene where he fights those guys in the gym and he does that hand combo. It's like 11 seconds long.
Hold on. I could probably find it.
It's like 10 or 11 seconds. But I play it all the time. I never get any copyright shit on it because it's so
Perfect
short.
Weapon gym fight. Okay, I'll find the one.
Just to give the people an idea of, and then here, remember he was pole vaulting, and that scene before he beat up the football player, he was practicing his pole vaulting.
Right.
And in high school, and so that's where this comes back, where he pole vaults. Because you're gonna find a piece of pipe or something that can hold 240 pounds and put him over a fucking fence and not snap.
All right. Let's see a little bit of this.
Come on, white boy.
Is this
That's
it?
James Liu. That's James Liu.
Hold on. Let me. Where is it? About here?
Thanks. Keep going. Keep going. Right there. Yep. Back up.
Okay, here we
All
are.
right. Oh, a little bit back. Right there.
Okay, right here, right here, right here.
Yeah, he lets him have it.
Damn.
Tore his fucking chin up. Dude. That guy needs a new jaw.
That was like the Three Stooges or something, dude. It's like,
But all I had to do is smack the shit out of him. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with.
wow. That guy does not have one molecule of shit left inside of him.
No, man, he beat all of it. They checked. They gave me
Beat
an
it all
MRI. Sorry, the doctor took his glasses off all slow and said, I'm sorry.
Oh,
You're all out of shit.
so this is why they had the track and field and the football at the same
There
season
you go.
in the beginning of the movie. Because you had to plant the idea that he could pole vault.
Yeah. What is that? What the fuck is that? A water pipe? What is that? What did you find? And where did you, because in pole vaulting, there's like a little groove in the ground where it catches
Right.
the pole.
Right.
So where did you stick that thing to hurl your big grown ass over that fence? Like, was there a divot in the ground where you can stick the pole in and go? Oh, it's so fucking dumb.
See, again, in writing, you can't just say this happened and then this happened and then this. You can't just have like a cool scene in your mind. You got to have a story structure. You can't. And then he pole vaults. Why did he pole vault? Because it would look cool. That's why he did it. No story reason. It looked cool. So I don't know. Whatever, dude. So then
yeah, whatever, dude. That's all you can say about it. That's what Siskel and Ebert said about this movie.
Right. That's the subtitle of this movie. The perfect weapon. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever, dude. Okay, whatever.
So he goes into this. What is this? Is this
That's
textile?
the warehouse, man. That's the warehouse.
We're at a warehouse down by the docks.
That's right.
As all great 80s movies take
See if we can
place.
find some steam or sparks, then we're good.
Right. He blasts this guy. Is he giving this guy the butt? He's gonna do a triangle on his neck and then just mash him with his butt.
Yeah, he's gonna give him the pink eye. But he's like giving him scissoring his neck, choking him out or whatever.
Right. Yeah, beats the crap out of all these guys in the warehouse, making his way to is it Hong is the main bad guy?
Young. Making it to Young.
Right. And
the guy just sticks out. Now he's about to fuck these dudes up.
Yeah. Fucks up the henchman. And he has knives in his boots, or where were the knives concealed?
In his ass. He's like,
hey, it's Stuff It Wednesday, man.
He's like, wait, don't push me too hard, guys. Got 2 daggers in my ass.
You'd be surprised how many daggers you can fit in your ass.
He's all, don't tackle me. Don't tackle me on the ground. I got fucking 2 daggers.
Oh, so he was trying to stab the guy here with one of his ass daggers.
Yeah. Not the ass dagger.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is super shitty. But on the cover of the movie, it says no knives, no guns. That's what it fucking says. And he clearly has knives, so that covers bullshit.
And these two, you think it looks like they're indoors, but no, they're right by the water, these guys. Right? Because they're sitting at a table here.
Yeah, it's like a waterfront office.
But there's a filing cabinet. Wait, no, this is different place. Okay, never mind. It's just a similar shot with him at a desk. That's a different desk. I was going to say, you can't have a filing cabinet where it rains on the dock.
If you don't give a shit about the papers in it,
the reason I entertained it for a minute is because of how illogical this movie already is. So I figured they would do something like an outdoor office. All your records, they're totally secure by keeping them outdoors in file cabinets.
Yeah, you keep them in the elements.
Yeah, keep them away from the rain and the crazy homeless people and the marine life that might come around.
All of it. Yeah, so he holds a gun on him. Of course, he lets him get close enough. He lets him walk slowly close enough to him. Dude, if my gun is out that means I'm going to shoot you. It's not like you don't put the gun back without having shot.
Let me talk about this for a
the
minute.
gun.
And this is a plague in action movies everywhere. Two people, good guy, bad guy, pointing guns at each other and then talking. That takes me out of movies because you can't do that.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. You cannot stand 4 feet away from each other and just point guns at each other's faces. That would never happen.
Mhm.
Someone's pulling the trigger instantly.
Yeah, because you don't want that guy to pull it before you do.
And not someone, both. Both would pull the trigger instantly. You know, they see that flash of steel coming off the hip, they're pulling the trigger.
Yeah, man, I'm getting you before you get me.
I
But if
can't
you have it like
stand
that,
in movies when guys
and
are
the guy
just,
has, and Jeff Speakman has no gun. So what's the problem? Shoot that.
he has
fucker.
screamer sticks and he has ass daggers.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You can't
Ass
see it in the
daggers.
shot, but he was pointing the gun at Jeff Speakman, and then Jeff was walking backwards toward him with his
He's
ass.
like, no,
stuck out.
no.
He's
Ew.
all, I know what you're thinking. How many daggers do I have in this ass? Is it 2 or 3?
You want a stink dagger, huh? No, gross. That's
Oh,
so
you feeling
gross.
lucky, punk?
Did I pull out 4 stink daggers or 5? You gotta ask yourself one question.
I know what you're thinking. The most ass daggers any man's ever fit in there was 4. Could this guy, Jeff, could he have a 5th ass dagger?
Could he?
Well-
Huh?
You feeling lucky, punk?
He's like, actually, I was just thinking how disgusting this is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's totally fucked up, man. So
Yeah.
he pulls a gun, doesn't do anything, which is why he gets the shit beat out of him. That's what you get. You're gonna pull a gun and somebody not pull the trigger. You need to have the shit kicked out of you. So he disarms him and hits him about 28 times in his face before he can fucking blink. So he's out of here. And he falls up against the wall unconscious, like ugh, just out. So he knocks him out. And he's gonna kill this old bastard right here.
Like
which is
choking
great.
him with his own collar. That's a
called-
jujitsu move.
That's a scissor choke.
Yeah.
You just basically push with both hands in opposite directions.
Yeah. And he's killing him, but then he's like, I'm not like you. So he doesn't kill him.
Oh, so no, you're dead. I go through all this?
Like you went through all
You're
of that
dead.
and you didn't finish the job.
Yeah. I beat 12 people to get to you.
Ugh.
Nah, dude, you're dying. You're dead.
And then that dude has like a wrist dagger. We got ass daggers. We got wrist daggers.
What do you need?
Like he's
What
like,
kind of
I'm
dagger?
not like you. He's
What
all,
dagger?
I abandoned Mr. Kim and left him to die. I'm not like you.
Yeah,
He turns
my
around to
man,
walk
you
away
too.
all badass. And this guy stabs him in the back with a wrist dagger.
It
But
sure does. But
his screamer stick was in there and it sticks in the wood, protecting
yeah,
him. So, wow,
Yeah,
he
I'm
looks
gonna fuck
terrified
you up.
there.
because he said, I'm gonna take this stick and put it all the way up your asshole. And he's like, no, oh yeah. Thunk.
Ugh.
He's like, all the way down to the grip tape and put it all the way in there.
So he beats the shit out of this guy, knocks him out, and throws him on all those ropes and whatever those floating things are. Those
Yeah.
rotations.
Why move him? Just leave him there. Why would you move him on top of the ropes? Just leave that fucker there. So he has a fucking wrist or a knife belt. The buckle's like a knife, so he's like whipping it around Indiana Jones style. And another thing I hate about this, you know, damn good and well, Jeff Speakman would beat the absolute shit out of this old man. But of course, we got to make it interesting. So Tanaka's like getting the drop on him, beating his ass. Like he cuts his head and shit. Like he just beat up 14 dudes. You're the one who's going to put a cut on over his eye, an old fat dude. So whatever. So he throws the belt knife. It sticks. Jeff Speakman grabs it, throws it back at him. It hits that hose that starts spraying gas in his face. And he
And
pulls
then
it.
he doesn't move. The gas is in his
Stay
face,
right
and he
there.
stands there and takes it.
Yeah, high pressure propane gas or whatever
If
that is,
some
right?
poisonous toxic gas, Jericho, started shooting out in a high pressure stream right in the side of your head, you just go, man, that sucks. And you just stay there.
Whatever. Yeah, it's not gonna.
It'll probably stop sooner or later. It wouldn't matter if I breathed up any of this.
Yeah,
It
I'm
probably
strong.
won't burn my skin off of my skull.
I'm pretty strong. I'll just stand there and inhale it.
Smells
it's a-
kind of good in a weird way.
So making me feel a little sleepy. So he throws it, it sticks in there, and then when he pulls the knife out, that's when the gas, the poisonous toxic gas, the noxious gas starts coming out. And then Jeff Speakman sees that little piece of chain. He's like, I'll throw it. So then slow motion, runs over, picks it up. Tanaka's swinging the knife, the belt knife around. He's going to throw it and stab Jeff Speakman with it. Who's going to go first? Is he going to throw the belt knife first, or is Speakman going to throw the piece of chain first? Of
I'm
course.
gonna defeat you with 3 links of chain.
Yeah, we're only as strong as the weakest link, right?
You know what he
So
should have said though? Right, the guy swinging the belt knife. Jeff Speakman is recovering from his wounds, and he has the little chunk of chain. And he should have told Tanaka, you know, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And then he throws the link at him and blows up the thing somehow.
Yeah, for sure. But that would have been good. So we're not going to do that.
Well, it was one of those links made of flint that sparks a lot.
You never seen a flint chain?
Yeah, a flint chain, totally sturdy, sturdy.
Yeah, it's one of the stronger materials in the world is a flint chain. And he said, "Here's a chain reaction," and he threw it. It hits, sparks, kaboom. Well, first it sets him on fire, and then a few seconds later, kaboom, blows up, humongous.
Smash cut to the cops showing up at the dock.
Always the last minute, the cops coming down the dock. You hear the sirens after everybody's dead, and all the work's done. Here come the cops. It's so funny how they always do that. And of course, you're not going to get in trouble. We talked to so-and-so. He told us the whole thing. You're good. It's all the millions of
You're
dollars
good. This case is closed, Speakman. I don't want to hear anything else about ass daggers. Oh, no, never, officer. I would never.
Now get out of here before the mayor sees you breathing down my neck. And then he, never mind the millions of dollars of damage you caused, the multiple
burning down the marina.
Yeah, the attempted murders and the assaults and the broken bones and concussions and brain damage. Forget all that. Good job, man. Get out of here. His brother, go ahead, get out of here. I got this.
Yeah. Oh,
what did he tie him up? Is he tied up?
Yeah, his wrists are tied somehow.
Then you put like a ball in his mouth. Was he fucking him?
He looks like he has his tie.
I'm gonna get you from Mr. Kim one way or another. Go ahead. And then that's doing and that's when they start playing I Got the Power. Little reconciliation with his son and his teacher. He's like, now I'm gonna fuck your daughter.
Right. He goes back to the dojo.
We're all gonna fucking
sees a nice 25-year-old Marissa Hartigay.
Hey, what's up, girl?
He's like, hey, girl, I just killed like 8 dudes.
What's up?
He's on the, how about I kill that ass?
Yeah, I can kill that poon. Like, oh, yeah, fool. I've been waiting 25 years for you to come back. Oh.
What up, old Renaissance boomer? He just checked in. We just finished a piece of crap called The Perfect Weapon.
Ooh, piece of crap.
Watch this with friends and relentlessly mock it. It is deserving of.
Yeah, they make it easy. If you're thinking to yourself, man, this is going to be tough to make fun of.
You've outdone yourself, Jericho. This is a magnificent piece of shit.
Thank you.
Because it's between like Stone Cold and like Bulletproof Monk, where Bulletproof Monk is boring, so it's unwatchable because it's so stupid. This is boring, but there's a little stupidity that's funny in this.
Yeah. You just wait. You just wait till I bring out the big guns.
They bring out the big ass daggers.
Gabe, I got some movies that are so bad that it's going to test the fabric of our friendship.
Oh, you almost said relationship. I thought we were taking it to the next level.
Not yet. Calm down. We'll see how 2025 goes.
All right, we'll see. I don't know where we're going to go from here. We could have a very special guest next week. I was texting with him today, but he's a little busy this weekend and stuff. And
we can only go up from this movie. So
yes, that is true. You've set the bar low with this movie.
So low.
Dug a hole and hid the bar 30 feet underground with this movie.
Yeah, there's fucking near the core of the earth where I buried that.
I'd never seen a Jeff Speakman movie, and I'd heard of him for years because I'm big into cheesy martial arts stuff, but I never watched his movies. I had no idea he was so wooden as an actor. My goodness.
Dude, bad. People we
zero
can't
emotion,
express
just zero nothing.
We can't express how bad it is. You have to experience it.
I'll have to get Tanaka and then we'll stop them. Okay.
Hey, you're just a kid.
Hey,
you're a kid.
The kid's not coming with me. Okay, he can come. Like, okay, I guess.
And he's like, "Oh man, how was that? I gave it my all. I gave everything I had. Really?
Print it.
Cut it. Print it. Kill me." Yeah, this was somebody kill me. Yeah, this was really bad, and we can only take you so far. You have to, we can only take you to the water known as the perfect weapon. You have to drink it for yourself. But go ahead.
Right. Drink it in. Drink it in, boys and girls.
Fucking gulp it.
We might have a very special guest next week. I was texting him today. He was going out of town in the morning, so he couldn't come on tonight. But we might do that. And if not, it'll be my pick next week. You can have the pick after that. I want to go back to Ninja Turtles since we did 1 and do Ninja Turtles 2. Because I want to talk about Vanilla Ice rapping and Ninja Turtles breakdancing. I need to talk
Ninja,
about
go Ninja, go.
Have you ever
Breakdance
seen
fighting.
Down. Right.
Breakdance fighting.
That's right. You know, another one we
Breakdance
have to
fighting.
do is Only the Strong. We got to do that one too.
Oh yeah, with Mark Dacascos.
And Paco, what's his name?
Prieto.
Paco Prieto, who I had dinner with Todd Senefante. So yeah, we'll get good old Todd back on here too. See if he knows what's cooking next in his world, what movies he's going to be in next, and it'll be a great time. So next week is
going on.
Yeah, next week is going to be either Ninja Turtles 2 or a super special guest. We'll see. And guys, I'll be on the air live tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. I'll be drawing the Unstoppable Tyrus. I think I'm on page 36. I'll be inking that and talking to you, having fun, talking more about what Trump and Elon are doing because it's wild. There's new news every 30 seconds. It's hard to keep up with the.
Yeah, it's really, this news cycle is very fast. Every time you look up, there's a new something that's being signed or being enacted, or something that's being, some fat that's being trimmed, or some country that talks tough, and then 12 hours later, you know, they got their tail between the legs and they're crying.
They're backing down.
So it's moving very, very quickly. And if you keep your finger on the pulse of this kind of stuff,
yeah,
you know, yeah, in the best way possible. Not complaining at all.
It feels too good to be true. I can't believe how well it's going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're getting weird. Like everything. It's like Christmas every day. You know?
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's still surreal. It's still like, in seeing the speed at which things are happening. It's like, well, then why didn't somebody do this a long time ago? Because it seems like it took him 20 minutes to get this shit. You know, all these different things happening and different people doing what they need to be doing. And what was it? He gave a speech in front of the WEF, World Economic Forum. He didn't even show up. He FaceTimed him and told him, fuck you all, you know, from 5,000 miles away. So,
just pulling us out of everything. The Paris climate, the World Health Organization, all the bullshit.
Dude, he's going to shut down the Department of Education.
Good. Look how stupid the average American kid is. Can't count, can't read, can't fucking write.
Dude, how awesome is that? They're like, what? Man, get rid of this bullshit.
You've been following the USAID thing, right? You've been following that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Did you see what they spent $8 million on?
I made a YouTube video that's coming out tomorrow about it. I've seen so many insane things.
Yeah, they spent $8 million on Politico subscriptions.
Oh, I saw that. Politico's made $34 million. They've paid Reuters. They've paid the Associated Press. They paid the New York Post. They paid like 9 out of 10 like news orgs in Ukraine, news organizations.
In foreign countries.
They paid the fucking BBC, and then all these news organizations that are supposed to keep the government in check are just giving the government's message. This is complete corruption. Yeah. And it's, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, it's illegal because it violates the First Amendment. And here's how it violates it. If I pay you, Jericho, and say you need to say this, I'm compelling speech. That isn't free speech. And when I compel idea A, I am necessarily stifling idea B, right? That's what I'm doing as the government. I'm saying this is how it is. This is the truth. Trust the science, right? And we're pretending it's coming independent from journalists and the science and the blah, and it's all just coming from the uniparty deep state. Like, what is happening right now is surreal. It's like the second American Revolution. It's insane what's happening right now.
It's nuts, man. It really is. And
those sniveling Democratic congressmen and senators showed up at the USAID building. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw.
They wanted to get in. And the armed security wouldn't let them in. They're just like, we want to go in. Like, who do we talk to go in? And it's like, you are caught. You are caught with your kickbacks and your embezzling. He's like, I just left my water bottle inside. I just got to go in for a minute. It's like, oh my God, they're going through all the data.
$50 billion for U.S. aid every year. That's a huge cookie jar.
That's what
a lot of hands.
That's what we know.
Yeah, but that's a big cookie jar for a lot of hands to go in, and when they start breaking down,
comic book in Peru.
Yeah, condoms or something about condoms in
$50
Pakistan.
million for prophylactic stuff for Gaza. $5 million to propagate atheism in Nepal.
What?
But you know how this stuff really works. I work at USAID. You run an NGO, Jericho, a non-government organization. The word non-government, and then it's all paid for by the government. First of all, that's a contradiction in terms. And like you run an NGO to help blind albino children learn to be lesbians, and I dole out the money. So I give you $10 million. You hand out a few stickers and erasers, and you keep the rest to buy a boat and a vacation home, and then you donate $5 million to my campaign to run for office or whatever.
Yep.
That's what they've been doing with this shit, in my opinion, allegedly. YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Or there's something that needs to be done. Well, I know somebody that I owe a favor to, or somebody that I'm related to. They do that. They do concrete business, so we'll give them the huge government contract. And I don't give a shit who's banging, how they're banging in Pakistan.
Don't care.
I don't give a shit about I don't care about anything going on in any other country. And the further you get down the list of things to pay for, the less and less that I care. And that is absolute fucking nonsense. And this is exactly what Doge needs to do. Ilhan Omar, oh, I lived in a refugee camp and USAID made it so we got to eat. I don't give a shit about you either. I don't care what's going on in Somalia.
Anti-American thief.
Like, get the fuck out of here, man. If you were in your home country, they'd be taking off their sandal, beating your ass right now. There's nothing you could do about it. Here, you're a congresswoman. Are you kidding me?
Look at this.
Shut your mouth.
$7.9 million to teach Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary language. $20 million for a new Sesame Street show in Iraq.
And do you think it's a regular Sesame Street?
Right.
No.
Just give them ours and just make it speak the Arabic language. My goodness. $4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. $15 million for art for inclusion of people with disabilities. $2 million for sex changes in LGBT activism in Guatemala. $6 million to transform digital spaces to reflect feminist democratic principles. Hold on. I want to read all these. Now I'm going to read all like 20 of these. And there's thousands and thousands of these.
But that's a lot of money.
$2.1 million to help the British Broadcasting Corporation value the diversity of Libyan society.
Well, that's important.
I'm half Libyan. I didn't get a penny. Where's my check?
Let's do you give a shit about
Tell
that?
me your favorite one on here. Hold on. $10 million worth of USAID funded meals, which went to an Al Qaeda linked terrorist group.
Nice.
Hey, I told them I don't like apple juice. I want the orange juice. This will not stand. They're making one of those like manifesto videos yelling about the orange juice.
Dude, they're putting goats in the ground and shit, eating, having a party with our money. Wow.
$25 million for Deloitte to promote green transportation in the country of Georgia. $6 million for tourism in Egypt. $2.5 million to promote inclusion in Vietnam. $16.8 million for separate inclusion group in Vietnam. They did it twice. So they want to include people, but they separated the groups. Why did you combine the two groups? That's inclusion.
So you can re-include them. You can
You
include them on the second round.
You got to re-include them. $5 million to EcoHealth Alliance, one of the key NGOs funding the bat virus in Wuhan.
They're still around?
Yeah.
They're still a thing?
It's still a thing, baby. $20 million for a group related to a key player in the Russiagate impeachment hoax. $1.1 million to an Armenian LGBT group. $1.2 million to the African Methodist Episcopal Church Service and Development Agency, Washington, D.C. That is a mouthful. To build a state-of-the-art 440-seat auditorium.
Hey, those people are fucking
your money. You're just
those people are fucking dying with flies around their mouth, and you gave them a 440-seat auditorium. Okay.
$1.3 million to Arab and Jewish photographers.
So they fighting over the money? What the fuck does that even mean?
$1.5 million to promote LGBT advocacy in Jamaica. $1.5 million to rebuild the Cuban media ecosystem.
What is that? What's a Cuban media ecosystem?
All of this jargon is like junior college sociology departments, you know. 1.5 million to quote, 2 million to promote LGBT equity through entrepreneurship in Latin America. $500,000 to solve sectarian violence in Israel, just 10 days before the Hamas October 7th attack. So I guess that money didn't work.
That didn't work.
Yeah. 2.3 listen to this. 2.3 million for artisanal and small scale gold mining. Amazon.
What?
Artisanal gold mining. You can't make this shit up. 3.9 million for LGBT causes in the Western Balkans, not the Eastern Balkans. $5.5 million for LGBT activism in Uganda, $6 million for advancing LGBT. Man, they sure love people doing stuff with their butts. They cannot stop talking about people doing things with their butts.
They do in countries where they usually frown on people who do stuff with their butts.
$6 million for advancing LGBT issues in priority countries around the world. 6.3.
What is a priority country?
The
what does that mean?
They need it in the ass, dude. They need it, and they need it.
Asses
now.
are not being used enough.
They need it now.
You're just using them for shit, and it's all wrong.
I think I read these this morning. This has got to be my favorite one. The next one, 6.3 million for men who have sex with men in South Africa. Now, I don't know if you've been to a pride parade or seen one on TV, but I don't feel like the gay dudes need encouragement to go after each other. They like it, guys.
Yeah, they kind of built-in motivation.
Hey, it's their thing, man. They're way into this.
It's kind of what they do. It's most of what they do.
8.3 million for USAID education, equity, and inclusion. Whatever. USAID's climate strategy outlined a 150 billion whole of agency approach to building an equitable world with net zero greenhouse gas emissions. And we got it. We got a couple.
Where do you find this?
This was a guy posted this on Twitter. It's endless. Just go to Twitter and you can't stop seeing this shit. This account was Rapid Response. Let's see the name of this account. Rapid Response 47 was this account. There's so many accounts doing amazing work, but dude, it's fucking endless. And you think about this. Everyone who can hear the sound of my voice, let's get serious for a second. You work, your wife works, you're there 10, 12 hours a day. Your kids are crying when you drop them off at daycare or preschool because mommy has to work because they don't pay enough wages. Your feet are sore when you get home or whatever. You microwave some shitty dinner. You barely watch a little TV. You go to bed, rinse, repeat. I am blessed. I work for myself as an artist, but I did blue collar. I was a construction worker, a factory worker. When I got married, I worked at Toys R Us for $8 an hour. My wife was a waitress for $2.12 an hour plus tips. I've seen my pregnant wife wait tables 27 years ago or whatever. And we paid all these taxes for all these years. And this is what these pieces of shit have been doing since the 60s with this USAID organization. This isn't recent. This isn't under Biden. This has been going on for decades. It's all make work. Make work is like when a mafioso says, hey, give my nephew a job at the construction site, and the kid never shows up, but he gets a paycheck. Yeah. That's what they're doing. Here's what you have to realize about wokeism. We were right. We outnumber the woke, the anti-woke, whether you're left or right wing. If you hate wokeness, we outnumber them 1,000 to 1. All of this is fake and propped up with our own money that, Politico has a lot. Politico, the left wing, they have a lot of subscribers. And the BBC and Reuters and all these left wing media corps, no one supports it. It's a trick they're playing on all of us that it's popular. They got 1 jillion subscribers. No, they don't. It's USAID money. It's your fucking tax money. Your wife worked for it. This is such a betrayal. These people have to go to prison. It's not enough to stop these payments. We need to be paid back as people, like no taxes for 5 years or something like that. Till we get these trillions is what I'm guessing it is back. And these people, prison. I don't give a shit. Prison. This is like, think how you, as a man, watching your wife work, how it upsets you, right? She's all tired. She's beat up. And she went out all day and made someone else rich instead of you, right? She's working at a company. And your kids are there and you're microwaving dinner because everyone's tired. It's not funny when you think of it that way. It should be infuriating. And I'm glad we have Trump, who they can't say it on YouTube. You know what happened to his ear? Mm-hmm. He's like, no fucks given now. You can see it. Like, he doesn't care. He pushed it all to the table. So he's coming scorched earth, and it's a great time to be alive. We're finally free from this globalist shit that started after World War II.
Dude, and who's to say this money even goes to these stupid titles? But there's no oversight, and these are like vague art of inclusion for people with disabilities. What does that mean? LGBT activism, all these vague, you can't measure, you can't quantify, value the diversity of how do you know when you've reached value? How do you know when they're being valued?
This is my tweet from this morning. People seem to really like it. I said, my cousin just got laid off from USAID. She was in charge of making sure Albanian albinos acquired acoustic acupuncture aquatic albums affordably. Arrest Trump and Elon now.
Those bastards. Dude, that's just absolute nonsense. But they're opening the curtains. and the sunlight is going to hit all this shit.
But that's
And
USAID. That's not the Department of Education, the Department of Labor, the Small Business Administration, the Department of Defense. You're going to find this kind of grift for hard-working Americans that are paying our fucking taxes for decades. This is what all of those places are doing with our money. You know, the Pentagon, Elon revealed last week, spent over 600 million. It was 600 or 60 million or 600 million in 1 year, the Pentagon, on sushi. Because I'm not paying for it, motherfucker. So I'll just order whatever I want.
It's easy to spend other people's money, man. It's easy. I used to see that when I worked at the radio station. When record labels would come, they'd have a new artist that they're promoting. So they want us to play their records and shit like that. And they would take the radio station, all the DJs, out for lunch, and people would be ordering the most expensive shit. They'd be ordering shit to go. They wouldn't even eat everything because it's just fucking record label. It's Sony Records. It's BMG Records. It's, whatever. They got deep pocket. Who gives a shit? So people would just go nuts. And to forget their budget, you're talking about the U.S. federal budget. That shit's bottomless.
But hold
we can
on.
go crazy.
It's terrible that they spend our money on, African, albino, LGBT, blind, cosmetic, whatever, artisanal napkin folding. That's horrible, but like funny. This isn't funny. Michael Schellenberger, a great reporter. USA, you know what USAID did? USAID and the CIA were behind the impeachment of Trump in 2019. So that guy that reported, Eric Ciarmella, was like the CIA operative who I caught Trump. He's telling Zelensky not to investigate Hunter Biden and all that. And we need to impeach him. And then they impeached him. And his main news source was some organization called the ABCDEFG. I don't know what it was. It was some news org, right? Well, guess what? That news org was paid for and had all their work and stories approved by, finish the sentence. Who do you think was running that news org? USAID. So it wasn't an independent news source that had found real news and real trouble with Trump. It was the deep state and the people that hate Trump paying a news organization to say what they want it to say so they can impeach this guy. So it's bad enough they're stealing our money for underwater basket weaving. Now they're trying to impeach the president with bullshit.
They're trying to impeach him now. They're trying to impeach his ass now.
They don't have the numbers. They can file all the articles
no.
of impeachment they want. They won't do it.
They want to.
Well, I want a pony. So it's nice to want things.
Hey, like my parents used to say, people in hell want ice water.
Oh, and old Renaissance man, he points out in that interview, Zelensky says, yeah, of the 120 billion, I only got 75. I don't know where the rest went.
That's right, bitch.
So he flipped on them now. So it's a new world. It's thrilling. It's
little junkie. He's like, yes, get them, Father Daddy Trump. Get them.
These motherfuckers stole $120. Don't give to me.
They not send me all of my dollars, my billions.
Now, when the news is moving this fast, be careful, because I'm sure all of us are going to hear and say and repeat fake news. Like I hear the 600 million on sushi, and I find that dubious because it's so outrageous. Like, who knows if that one's true? But like, there's stuff. So be careful. If I give you any fake news, I apologize. But things are moving at breakneck speed, and it's insane.
Yeah, man. No bullshit. Like, honestly, I did a video, and then a few hours later, it's not like I found that it was fake or anything, but it had already changed. Like, it had already come to a
Are you talking about the tariffs?
Yeah.
Everyone in my business, in comic books, all the liberal shitheads, because most of the guys, the outspoken guys, are liberal morons. And they're like, thanks a lot. Now the comic books printed in Canada are going to cost more to print, and the costs are going to go up for the consumers, and it's going to hurt sales.
Yeah.
Within a half hour, Canada had conceded, and there's
no.
So keep your panties on, boys and girls.
It's just like, what? Oh my God, everything it's over.
Like, you knew Mexico and Canada were going to fold. What, are they going to flex on us?
Dude, we're 80% of their economy.
Here's the thing.
They couldn't keep that up. It's unsustainable.
That's absolutely right. But here's the main thing for all of this. I can't say it fully on YouTube, but the Trump ear, he doesn't fucking care. He doesn't care. Yep. They did that, whoever they are. I don't know who they are. I have my suspicions. I'm fairly certain we all think we know who these people are that did that. It's honestly, in my opinion, it's very obvious, but I won't say. And they missed. And now he knows he's living on bonus time because he shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You're a gun guy. You're a gun guy. You've shot an AR. I own an AR. I've shot an AR. ARs are some of the most easy guns to use. That's why the Democrats hate him, because
Mhm.
you can really defend yourself with an AR because they're deadly, they're powerful, they don't have any recoil, they're accurate as fuck.
Yep.
They're easy. It's like a gun with training wheels, an AR. It's so the first time I used one, I was like, oh my God, this is a big old rifle. I've never used this before. And I'm like, oh my God, this thing's awesome.
Yep.
Like, and you're hitting,
Devastating.
your grouping is amazing. Like, it's a super accurate weapon. So for the
Ammo
ear,
sheet.
that's a miracle from God. That's God having mercy. Because can you imagine, Jericho, if Kamala was president right now, what her cabinet appointees would look like and what they'd be doing with the laws and her executive orders? Can you imagine what her executive orders would look like? We'd be done. It would be the end of America, the end of Western civilization. We'd lose to communism finally. It would be over.
I can't imagine that. And I'm so glad we don't have to. But yeah, I mean, to imagine what it would be like, how far we would be in the opposite direction. All the things that he stopped would probably be escalated because why not? They probably put him in a hyperdrive because why not?
How stupid is Clown World? Speaking of what you just said about the things he's putting a stop to, that he has to have a press conference and sign an executive order to stop men playing against girls in sports. Why was this even an issue?
Why was any of this shit an issue? Why did he have to send out a decree that they need to change their pronouns on their official emails and shit? Like, why did he have to say that?
Say, hey, the border has a function, so now we're using its function.
Yeah. Why does he have to say drill, baby, drill? Why are we not drilling? Why are they not giving us free gasoline?
Right.
Why is that? Because we have more than all of the oil producing countries in the world combined, Russia, Venezuela, all OPEC
we have the most
countries. We got all of it. So why are we, and what we're going to use, we have like a 500-year supply under us. Look, to be honest, I don't give a shit what's going on Earth in 500 years.
Hey, listen,
do you think our ancestors cared 500 years ago about us today?
If our descendants can't figure out something about fuel 500 years from now, they deserve it. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Just
come on.
Figure it out. Jeez.
Come on, man. I don't give a damn. I want my
I'm all
oil
for
to be
planning
cheap.
for the future, but I'm not for planning 5 centuries from now. That's too much. Okay.
Dude, I want us to be. I want us to be the old guy in the action movies where there's a fight and he's taking everybody's money, and there's 100 guys just waving currency that we don't recognize in his face, and we're just grabbing people's money. Oil, ammunition, furniture. Who wants what? We're just selling all kinds of stuff to the world, making money hand over fist. And any company that's foolish enough to sell their goods here, you got to pay. Trump knows what he's doing. If it comes to business, that man knows what he's doing. So go ahead. Until you fuck up, go ahead. Tariff the shit out of them. Oh, it's going to destroy wait a minute. They agreed.
All right, guys. All right. It's been a fun one. Jeff Speakman, I'm glad you found something else to do. Acting just didn't seem to be your thing. So, but he's successful otherwise, So this was a pile of crap movie. And we're on to Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. Next week. Oh, damn. The Secret of the Ooze. We'll talk to you guys later. All the links in the description. Make sure you follow Jericho and myself everywhere on social media. Go to bigmancomics.com. Get yourself some apparel and a copy of Dean Cain All-American Lawman Volume 1 if you don't have it yet. I still have first printings in stock. And even if you do have it, get another cover because I have multiple covers. And I will see you guys at 10:30 in the morning for my draw stream where I'll be drawing a page of the Unstoppable Tyrus. Anything for the audience, Jericho? Are you ready to go?
No, you guys know where to find me. Just look up Jericho Green. At JG Talk 2 on Instagram, at Green_Jericho on X. And, just search me. I'll pop up.
Night.